Hello, kiddies. It's me, your old pal, the Cryptkeeper. And welcome to Grindhaus on 42nd Street. Gray and Wolfman have finally decided to review one of my big screen movies, Demon Knight. Now they get to watch a true scaramatic classic. And if they don't like it, I may just have to pay them a visit.
We're back. Dinosaur Story. I'm kidding. That was a terrible movie. I'm Gray.
I'm Wolfman. Part 2. Demon Knight. Welcome back, people.
Duh. Obviously, if you're listening to this episode, you better have listened to part 1. If you didn't, stop what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Go listen to part 1. Awesome. Obviously.
Part 1's arguably the better part, too, because it's the podcast version of it. Who knows what we're going to say? Who knows what we're going to get into?
Actually was going to say something last week because a lot of our more recent episodes we've been just doing all the way through.
Yeah.
And when we do it in parts, part 1 is essentially the podcast and part 2 is the review and the breakdown.
Yeah.
And some people want to just hear the review and breakdown, whatever. But we suggest you listen to both because we talk about, both parts and both parts, whatever. I am watching the version on Vudu because I had a copy from when I bought this a few years ago.
Yeah, I don't have a disc drive, so we are watching it on YouTube, but a purchased version of it on YouTube. No thieving.
This isn't actually, even
Rental
if that was
version.
an option, it's not even there for free because we looked. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, it's not.
I know, I'm just saying it's not.
Yeah.
We searched it. The
Yeah.
first thing that came up was the buy, but then, you scroll a little bit, you look for the timing, it wasn't there. Now, do you want to tell people what you did find?
I mean, I put it back, but I do own this movie. So it's not like even if I was watching a free copy, I paid my money. I just don't have a DVD or a Blu-ray drive in my PC so I can watch this on another monitor as we go through. But I do own the movie.
You hear that, Mr. Kassir?
Yeah.
Please come strike us down. Like, where's my 6% royalty check?
I own the goddamn movie. But what I did find is someone labeled it as the actual movie, and it was them explaining the plot. Kind of like what we're going to do now, but with a slideshow of, pictures totally not in order of the movie. So, in the first, 2 minutes, they're talking about the opening of the movie, and you see the pictures of
the middle.
But you see, one specifically was, I forget her name, but it's CCH or whatever she is in the movie.
Yeah.
Of her with the grenades on her chest and she's missing her arm. It's totally out of context. You have no idea what are you fucking showing? You know what I mean?
It's like so today I want to talk about Demon Knight, and then the guy's like, the movie starts out in the desert, right? And then a car goes by.
Yeah. But at least they're all pictures from the movie, but they're just out of fucking place. Irene was her character name.
That'd be funny if 10 minutes in he's like, oh wait, that's a picture of my dog. Sorry. He just randomly tosses random pictures in there.
I mean, I know we sort of did something similar on our first episode eventually, when I released some stuff, but it was different.
Different circumstances.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. It was something similar. I cut up some clips and I was putting photos up of what we were talking about, but it was in context of what we were talking about, not out of context,
We weren't breaking down a movie from beginning to end.
No.
We could have talked about a movie at any point. It wouldn't have mattered.
But when we were talking about Batman and who plays the better Batman, I put up some Batman memes and stuff. It was in context what we were talking about, But now you have our handsome faces.
Like it'd be a better.
Yeah.
It actually sounds like this guy's video would be better if you just didn't watch the video and you just listened to what he had to say.
Probably. I
Then
mean,
you
he
don't
had
have- yeah,
he
you
had a
don't
pretty
have to worry
terrible
about-
voice. I'm not going to lie. So it's not something I would want to listen to in general.
Boy.
I don't know.
Tonight we're going down Demon Night. It's
Actually,
okay. No.
actually, his voice kind of did sound similar to something like that.
No.
I'm not even kidding.
Fucking way.
You need,
Can't
you
be
need.
that
No,
bad.
I'm serious. You need to look it up and listen to it for a split second, then, because it really did sound something bad like that when I was talking about it. So,
like Kermit the Frog, who's had AIDS for like 4 years. Just hey everybody.
why you gotta
we're
rip on
talking
people
about-
with AIDS, man? There's nothing wrong with them.
I didn't rip on anything. I didn't rip on anyone with AIDS. Magic Johnson, the motherfucker's still alive. He's doing fine.
It's because he's got millions and millions of dollars.
We know why. I'm just saying. On.
Or he never had it, if you believe the conspiracy theorists, and he was just coming out there as a
No.
prominent person to give warning that, hey, even us famous people can get it. You got to start using condoms.
No, you don't think.
You never know. You never know.
The fucker looks better now than he did in
That's
the
what I'm
80s, I'll say
saying.
that.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I've seen a lot of people die of AIDS, and I had a family members. Well, you know how the Italians are. You know, my Italian side. It's like your cousins. It was like my cousin's cousin. You know what I mean? Like his actual
We're off the
cousin.
boat from the same town, and
He died of AIDS actually. So there was this whole thing.
to bring it down.
Yeah. No, I
I'm
mean,
kidding.
I barely knew him. He was just used to party and drink all the time, man.
You
He was
actually
probably,
knew.
yeah. I actually knew
someone
someone.
who
That's
had
kind
it,
of
though.
rare, yeah. That, like, especially then. He died probably like around the time, around the making of this movie, probably maybe a little bit beforehand. And that around that time. So it's kind of weird.
Like Eazy-E died of AIDS.
Yeah. I mean, you heard of it, but it's like
the-
back then you never.
Well, the rumor was that Suge Knight actually shot the AIDS.
Yeah,
like he
I
had
heard,
AIDS
yeah.
blood in a needle.
Yeah, but we know the real
and he
reason.
admitted to that.
Eazy-E was just banging so many women, so he probably got AIDS 7 or 8 times over. So I don't think he was caring who
probably
he was
had
banging.
it before Suge gave it to him.
Yeah.
Like it's like that Family Guy scene where like Dracula comes in and he bites the neck of the gay guy. He's like, "No, you'll be a vampire," and the gay guy's like, "Well, I have something to tell you." I'm trying to look for this breakdown. Is it 20 minutes? Is it 27 minutes?
Hold on, let me type it in here. I'll figure it out.
I see
It's
one that
just
says
listed
Brandon's
as it's
Cult.
just lift. It's what did I say it was.
It's in a Crypt Demon Night.
Yeah,
all
so
it's
it's listed
listed
as. Yeah. It was this one solid video. It's not a. It's like it's 100 and it's 1 hour 6 minutes. Red Rabbit Drive-In. I'm not trying to give them the plug.
No, because there are
Yeah.
some breakdowns of this movie that
Yeah.
have quite a few views. You know,
Yeah. There are some actually quality YouTubers that did breakdowns of this movie, but they did like their 20-minute, 15, 10-minute reviews. You know, it's not like a
well,
full breakdown. 'Cause-
Brandon Tenold 5 years ago posted one. It's 20 minutes long. It's got over 250,000
Yeah.
views. So, you said it was what? Red
Red Drive
Rocket.
Yeah, Red Rocket Drive-In. No, it's 1 hour and 1 hour and 6 minutes. It says it's a breakdown, but it just says Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Night. That's the name of the
Drive-in computer. My co-host.
Is this him?
yeah.
Oh.
Don't play it
Oh yeah,
loud.
the picture of Dick Miller right in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
you heard his voice. It's pretty
This is-
bad.
this is Red Rocket
Yeah.
production. You know who it sounds like? Our buddy Captain Laugh Track.
Oh man, he did a Darkman review and Deep Cut. RoboCop
And a deep cut.
He said it says Darkman review and Deep Cut. So it must be like a super long Deep Cut review. It's 1 hour and 9 minutes. RoboCop and
Man.
2 cats named Murphy. 1 hour and 10 minutes. He only has 3 videos up. 5 months ago, he created his thing and never went. And he actually got 27 subscribers from it. Good for him.
I thought this was older than that.
No, it's only from 5 months ago.
Dude, all right.
But because of the way he titled it, he got 8,500 views on that video because he's tricking people into clicking on it.
Right, yeah, here's the thing. Well, okay, so Red Rabbit Drive-In has 27 subscribers, but if you go up above it to, there's one, it says Demon Knight / the Red Rabbit. It's Slinky's Liquor Pawn, and I forget the name of the channel. They have almost 500 subscribers, and it was uploaded a few months ago. It's got 33 views. So literally they have this video up on 2 different channels and it's the same thing. 1 hour, 6 minute, 41 seconds. Same video twice. Guys, you're splitting up your views. You got to get rid of one of them to get all the views on the other.
Host Mick and Slinky discuss the underrated 90s horror gem and its amazing soundtrack.
What's their name?
Mick and Slinky. Wolfman Gray's better.
When you so when you go to Walmart and you tell your mom, I want Gray and Wolfman. Like, no, we got Gray and Wolfman at home. That's what you get.
Mick and Slinky.
Is it Max and Slanky?
Mick and Slinky.
Mick and Slinky are the generic Gray and Wolfman. They're the great value.
Great value, Gray.
I'm starting a
Wolfman.
YouTube beef right now. I want to tag these motherfuckers. Kidding, they're probably really nice guys.
If I ever get around to it, there is a Twitch streamer that we started a beef with in one of our other... Well, not me, but when we were playing Predator. Remember I told this story on air?
Oh, yes.
That fucking guy. I just don't have good video of it, but I don't know what I caught and what I didn't of him shit-talking me and then banning me in his chat room
shit-talking
still.
you, but then banning
me because I was the one shit-talking, apparently, even though I was just trying to tell his viewers that...
No, you were the one
he was
having
an
coherent
ass-clan.
thoughts.
Yeah. Anyway, back to our
video
movie.
Is an hour and 6.
Yeah.
Video's an hour and 6 minute long. Hey, when you get to 3.5 hours, call me. All right. We're the fucking marathoners.
Did almost a 5-hour video on killer clown movies.
Yeah, seriously, I can sit in this chair longer than you can sleep in a bed, motherfucker. I'm kidding. My back's
Great. Gray's doing his best YouTuber shit talking now. You know, if you're gonna shit talk a YouTuber, you got to do a popular one, so at least we get some traction. Come on now.
We get 2 subscribers and we lose 1. Man, it was kind of fucked up that you guys attacked that YouTube group. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm attacking them because they mislabeled the video. At least ours are labeled properly, and you know what you're fucking getting.
Hey, Mark and Stinky, listen up. Don't try to fool people.
All right. Ready to start this up? You got your cigarette rolling, ready to go?
We are 44 seconds in, right on the Universal logo. It actually looks like the original one before the digitized bullshit. So, already. What's up? Down?
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Volume down.
I kind of want to just like turn on this so people can hear the intro, but I don't want our video to get tagged for copyright.
Oh yeah, no it.
But then again, I would totally fight it only because like we're talking over it and reviewing it, and it's only like I would see if I could try to fight it. Nah, don't show it.
Hear this?
Dun, 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 dun. So iconic, man. It'd be really cool if we get the rights for this to play in the beginning of our videos.
Oh my god. And fucking like Danny Elfman, like I said earlier, dude, fucking Batman and Beetlejuice, fucking Edward Scissorhands.
You know there's actually people that hate him for some reason. They don't like his music scoring.
They say that his scoring is too whimsical. You're being like transported to another fucking place in time. Don't you want it to be a little... I'll never get it. I'll never understand.
Hello, kitties.
How far are you?
207.
I'm sorry, I had to
208.
restart mine because Oh, wait. Okay, I'm there.
I can pause it. Hold on.
I'm there.
No. 216.
Oh, 215. Perfect.
All right.
As the fucking
He's just going to
skip
pop
door
up.
opens.
That's fucking so great.
That right there is the best shot of Joan Rivers you'll ever see. Now that she's dead, not, you know.
Yeah.
Left that one alone.
Yeah. She was funny, though.
She was.
So the cool
movie
thing
starts out.
Well, I was gonna say the cool thing about how this movie starts out is like it starts out like a regular Tales from the Crypt episode, like back in the day.
And then, like, if you ever called a sex hotline, this is the voice you heard. Is it not?
I have a funny story about that.
Close.
You want to know the story? Should we pause this?
Pause.
But
Pause. I want to hear it.
so, I had some bad parents growing up. So, like me and my actual like cousin, this one cousin, my parents had gambling addictions, so things were a little looser back in the early '90s, late '80s.
Sure.
We would go down they would like to go to the showboat a lot, especially if they took us with them. And they'd go down there at like 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes we would get home to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes later, depending if they're on hot streaks or not. But the showboat back in the day had a bowling alley in it that was literally like 60, 70 lanes. And it had a really nice arcade. Had a really nice arcade room. So my mom would be like, here's $100. Go do some bowling. Here's some arcades. I'm going to go gamble. And she would literally leave us.
She'd give you guys $100 back in like the early 90s.
Yeah. Well,
you could have went out and got a key. I'm just saying, fuck, God
but
damn.
I'm like 9 years old, 10 years old when this is happening. It's not like I'm fucking.
16,
I'm not
17.
a teenager. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
young. Like, but I mean, this
$100.
happened up until sometimes it'd be less. But I mean, she gave us like $20, $30 at a time. Something like she gave us $100 like once or twice, but a lot of it'd be like $20 or $30 here. And then she'd be like,
You'd
"Oh,
see her in
I'm
an hour."
Yeah, she'd come back like a couple hours later, like, "Oh, I'm still gonna play a little longer. You guys need more money. Here's more money." But anyway, so a lot of the
You
casinos
said
were
you had bad parents. I don't see where the bad parenting is
I
coming
guess,
in here.
I guess
Your mom seems
considering,
awesome.
I guess considering like normal parents these days consider my parents horrible. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
how would they leave you alone in a casino where all these like deviants and whatever? It could have been like, I guess I don't know. It's different, but anyway. So
Yeah.
if we'd run out of money, sometimes we'd start exploring the hotels. And a lot of these hotels are connected. So I end up like 3 or 4 hotels away from where my mom was. Sometimes we'd be walking
like
around.
Borgata or something.
But you know how payphones were like a thing back then? You know, most people don't know where like there'd be literally blocks of payphones. So we'd go to these little payphones. It'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. And we'd start just dialing random numbers on the payphones, like 1-800, 1-900, and just see what we'd get. And just out of curiosity, and a lot of times, sometimes you get no, without hitting anything. You could just dial randomly, so you don't have to put any money in, and you just see what you get. Because a lot of those numbers work off credit cards, so you'll get an intro. So like sometimes we just dial random numbers, or we'd make up words, and you get like phone sex operator lines, like you get the pre-recorded messages.
1-800 eat dick or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes you type in whatever, and you get like some random home shopping network thing, or like so we kept calling the same number up, and the guy kept we kept fucking with him, but we call from different. There's like 30 payphones in this block.
Yeah,
So he's
I
like,
remember they used to have rows of payphones.
So the guy's like, he's like,
each one.
so he had no idea like it was us calling every time. He thinks it's from another number. And we kept fucking with him. We kept trying to order like 3-foot dildos and like whatever, and you get so mad. I don't even know what they were selling, but it was just hilarious. Like we do all.
That's like hours of entertainment for like kids who don't have money, and you see 30 payphones. You're like, oh,
hours
shit,
and hours of
clear your
entertainment.
schedule.
Yep, hours and hours of entertainment. You can try to make collect calls and just be like, I want to make a collect call to this number, and you'd be like,
It's true.
Fuck your face.
Have a
You know what I mean?
collect call from-
Fuck your face. You know what I mean? And then be like, oh, deny. Who the fuck is this? And hang up. Like, hours and hours of fun, man. Like, just that's all I'm saying.
have a collect call from Bob. We had a baby. Eats a boy.
Yeah,
Had to
yeah.
hang up. Who was it?
That
Bob,
was an
we had a
actual
baby. It's a boy.
Yeah, that was the actual commercial
Yeah,
for
yeah.
1-800-COLLECT or whatever. Yeah.
Do you remember like 10-10-220 or 10-10?
I
Remember those?
vaguely
in, like, the late
remember
90s?
those. Yeah, commercials. I don't.
Yeah, there were all these like 10-10 and
They
then
were
a couple other
discount.
digits, and you
They
could
were
make
supposed to be
free
like
collect
yeah,
call.
yeah, discount collect calling numbers or whatever. Yeah, it was sort of some hidden fees after.
Dude, we'd be out
so many
skateboarding in
minutes.
town. My mom and dad would be at the shop and be like, "Yeah, call us, when let us know where you are.
Yeah.
But make sure you use 10-10-921 or whatever,
Yeah.
so we don't have to pay
Yep,
that much." It's
yep.
like, okay, mom, yeah, got it. 10-10-9
Well, like
whatever.
before that was 1-800-COLLECT. You just hit 1-800-COLLECT.
1-800-COLLECT was still big when I was a kid.
Okay. Yeah. So like your mom, your parents would be like, call us when you're ready. There's no cell phones then, none of that. It was all payphones. So you call 1-800-COLLECT and be like, we're ready to come home now. And then they're like, nope, decline charges.
Call from, Mom, come get us. Ready. Wasn't gonna say this. But it's been so long. I think I can finally come clean. As many of you know, my parents own restaurants their entire life. There's restaurants, pizza places. When I was 11, I had decided to try to make a phone call. One of these hotlines, because we didn't get the internet until I was like 13, and we moved to Delaware, so we can keep. Our argument was, Mom, we want to keep in touch with our friends in Pennsylvania. The phone bill would be too much. We need the internet. My mom, when we were in PA, never wanted us to have the internet because we would meet weirdos. Little did we know.
Little we know.
So
We're
I'm
the
at the
weirdos on the
I'm
internet
at
now.
the pizza place, and I'm making boxes, and I have the cordless phone near me, and just like I pick it up, and I would dial like 8 numbers, and like hang up, and be like, I'm like, oh, I want to do it, and I did it, and as soon as they answered, like I heard like the saxophone music roll in, like Val Venus, like, "Hello, ladies," and I immediately hung up.
The old fucking porn numbers. It's so funny.
What I didn't know, or at least now I do, is that the phone at the pizza shop showed every number dialed out. There's this massive list, and it'll be like 1-800-682, 1-800-6821, 1-800, because I just kept hanging up. Dad,
That's why you need to learn about the payphone thing like I did.
I didn't have 30 payphones at my disposal. My dad saw the phone bill. He saw all these calls. He goes to the delivery guy. He's like a 17, 18-year-old high school
Now,
kid.
did you get charged for any of these real quick before we get a little context? Or did you just hang up?
I got charged for one because I made the actual call when the music rolled in.
Okay.
And it was $1.50 right off the bat, or $1 right off the bat. But you had a list of all the numbers dialed out because it was a business line. He goes and he's like, the delivery guy's like, the fuck, what's this? Because the delivery guy used to answer the phone too. And delivery guy, I didn't do this. What do you? Well, that's stupid. Why would I call, a phone sex operator? And I'm sitting in the corner making boxes. I'm like,
oh,
please don't come over here. On this huge argument, and the delivery guy walked out and he quit. I was like, well, I guess he was guilty because he left. So Leroy or Jerry or whatever, I'm sorry. That was on me. Okay. I'm sorry.
Leroy or Jerry is now homeless, lives under a bridge because you fucked his life over.
Because he lost his prestigious delivery boy job.
Goddamn you and your white privilege.
I probably did him a favor. He probably went and got like a real job after that,
Meanwhile, he's like a silent partner of Facebook and has a couple $2 billion right now.
It's like, I was at this dead-end job, and I got accused of making phone sex hotline calls, and I said, fuck this.
I'm out. And then I developed this new app. And I developed this new app. It was called Amazon.com.
If that's the case, then I actually need my cut.
Yeah.
Because without me, we making
who
boxes
knows?
under a bridge.
Yeah, who knows where this would have been right now. But anyway, I figured you get a kick. I figured you get a kick out of that story.
I wish I could see 30 fucking payphones lined all up against the wall again, just once in my life. Just see the fuck, you know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
I'm at,
Can you imagine?
305.
Hold on. Can you imagine? Hold on. Can you imagine what it would have been? I'm actually at 305 exactly too. But before we start that,
Okay.
can you imagine what it would have been like if like you, Gore, and myself were all roughly around the same age, and we got left as kids in a hotel, like in a casino with like
Jeez.
$100 when we were kids.
Atlantic City?
Yeah, like the kind of fun we would have had, like as kids. We would have played the shit out of some arcades. We probably would have got thrown out of the bowling alley, and then would have had all sorts of fun on the payphones afterwards. Like, and then we even, like assholes, we walked the boardwalk a few times at like 2:00 in the morning, Atlantic City Boardwalk in the '90s. Like that was pretty dangerous now, looking back at it.
Atlantic City.
Yo,
at
your
2 in the
face,
morning?
your face is fucking hilarious right there. Like you were like, "What?" Yeah, we literally walked the boardwalk from one casino to the other because they closed down the entrance way because they were cleaning it. So we had to leave and come back in. And like not one security guard stopped us ever. Now I think they would stop people and be like, "Where's your parents?"
Oh yeah.
Like
Now
we
they
never
would.
got harassed at all by any. Even like leaving the casino and coming back in to see like 12-year-old
Because they probably
12-year-old
knew that,
kids.
like, you guys looked young enough that you guys definitely weren't going to get served booze or
Yeah.
nothing like that. So they're probably like, they got nothing better to do. Let them walk
Yeah.
around and bullshit.
I want to say like my
But,
cousin, she was probably somewhere between 12 and 14, and I was somewhere between. We did this a lot, so it was I was between the age of like maybe 10 and 12, 12 and 13. I mean, we went a little bit later, but yeah.
Every other
Highlights.
weekend or maybe once a month, you guys would go out and do that.
Yeah, they wouldn't take us often. They left us home most of the time, but every once in a while they'd be like, "You want to go?" But it wasn't like both
Like
my
Ocean
parents.
City,
My dad was always
Maryland.
working a lot, so a lot of times it was just my mom. Like when it was my
Your
parents,
mom
they
was
would.
watching you guys.
No. When it was both of them, they'd go by themselves. It was like when my mom just wanted company. Like I guess for the drive down and back, and she'd go gamble by herself, and then we'd,
Be around. Yeah.
So that's actually
That makes
that's
sense.
how she met her boyfriend after she split up with my dad. She started dating one of the pit bosses at one of the casinos.
I've never met your mom. I'm sure she's a nice lady.
She is.
But I could totally see your mom in the casino at 3 in the morning with a drink in her left hand,
And a cigarette in the other.
cigarette right here, and she goes, "Me again, you 3-card stud, cocktail."
Nah, she
I
played.
just
She
see
played.
your mom
Nah,
being
she played mostly slot machines.
like, okay.
Yeah, she wasn't like a
Mom
card
wasn't into
player.
loose slots.
No, yeah, she was. She was.
Been to loose slots too.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I know what it's like to walk the Ocean City boardwalk at 2 in the morning, being 13.
I've actually never been to
There's
Ocean
no-
City.
There's no casinos and there's no strip clubs. Oh, it's very family oriented, and it's still dangerous to be on that boardwalk at 2 in the morning. Atlantic City is literally like the fucking Gaza Strip. You guys are like
It's like
walking at 2
it's not so bad now, but then
you,
it was
gentrification, but-
then it was pretty bad. But in like I want to say like 2003ish, when it was still kind of bad or whatever. I did mushrooms on New Year's Eve and went down with a bunch of people, and we were all fucked up wandering to casinos on New Year's Eve on mushrooms, and we almost got hit by a car. And
Every casino packed because it was New Year's.
oh, dude, it was ridiculously packed.
I see.
so-
I couldn't be around that many people.
No,
on
see,
mushrooms.
I'm since I'm a bigger guy, I wasn't anywhere near as big as I am now, but I was like 230 pounds. I'm still bigger than them, but I was like very fit then for the most part. I still like had a little chub, You never always had some chub, but
You always gotta have some.
yeah, I always had some chub. But I was still by far the biggest person in the group. But so it didn't affect me as much as them. So I think I got the better end of it because I was just seeing like major trails like Atlantic City with all the blinking lights and the trails and all that
Your
stuff.
mood
Yeah.
was happy. It was
I was
elevated. but
super
you weren't.
happy, and I wasn't seeing leprechauns jumping out of fucking windows. And
It's the perfect middle ground when it comes to mushrooms.
Yeah.
But the problem is this is where you want to be. This isn't enough. If you just go right here, it's too fucking much. Like, just a little bit.
I was
too much
probably like
mushroom is-
right before the middle ground where you want to be.
See, that's a golden area.
Yeah, I was right before the middle ground. They were
Probably
all
one of your best memories,
they
isn't
were.
it?
I had a good time for the most part. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was so it was me and my girlfriend at the time, two of our closer friends of that group, and then another couple. I didn't know them very well, so yeah.
Well, it's 6 people though. Everyone
Yeah.
kind of knew each other, so I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
That's a
I have some
big
more
group.
fun stuff about that we'll talk about off air, but
yeah, of course.
I
Tits
don't
on
want
this one,
to get into
by the
total hijinks of us. I don't want to talk about the car,
Not yet.
almost us getting hit by cars and other bullshit that went on that night.
Yeah, no. Few limitations might be up,
Yeah.
but I still, let's not take that chance. minutes 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm at
Woman
3:05
is-
exactly. Also, so on 3, start it.
1, 2, 3. Fake rack.
Mm-hmm.
Got blood on her belly, on her hand. She's talking on the phone to, I guess, maybe a boyfriend.
I'm assuming
or
it's her
someone,
boyfriend, and she killed her husband.
waiting for that money to come in.
Yeah.
Now they go to like this bathtub-looking scene, and you see a body floating in it, but it's starting to bubble up, and you see the hand come up. This is,
But
like
then
you
they
said,
start
very
cutting
much-
to her in the bathtub, naked, soaping herself down, and it's amazing. By the way, it's a good shot.
It's great.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, like you said earlier, very much episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, and then and it's primo physical effects, like on this bloody melting dude coming towards her, and it's good editing where they're
actually-
cutting back and forth.
Yeah, she actually had the wash rag on her eyes, and she
Mm-hmm.
confused it with, I guess, her boyfriend. So when she removes it, she starts screaming, about to get the axe, and you hear, "Cut! Cut!" Cryptkeeper is the director of this film, and walking towards the camera, and you
Oh shit!
Robert Redford.
It's so. I forget this guy's name, but people know him and
John
whatnot.
Larroquette.
Yeah, John Larroquette. But right here in the Cryptkeeper, you can see the green screen on his neck, on his collar.
Yeah,
Like it said that
because-
it said that in one of the goofs and whatnot, because we were talking about how earlier he has a green face mask on, the head was pre-imposed like on there. But I never noticed it because having a VHS or a DVD and you're sitting further away, it's a little
I get it.
yeah.
Mostly the Crypt Keeper was always a puppet, and he was operated by multiple people. But in later seasons, he wanted the Crypt Keeper to like dance, because obviously in the 90s, if you
Yeah.
were big at anything, you needed a rap song. Of course, Crypt Keeper had his own song, and they wanted him. Oh yeah, you got to use green screen. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
But
the Crypt
basically,
Keeper-
he introduces.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to go with that, but you are now right, Tim.
I'll
So
say
go
he
ahead, yeah.
introduces our movie, Demon Night.
Mhm. But it was cool because they always show it as a comic book, and then the pages fold over, just like in the series. It's like it's literally dead set in there. And then now you have our main character, Breaker. At least the beginning, it shifts in the movie.
does.
It's kind of like our co-main character. Oh, they actually put her in here, a CCH Pounder. Also, I didn't notice that in the credits.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess she officially goes by that
Now-
because her name's so long. It's kind of funny.
Now we got Breaker riding in this car. I don't know what kind of car it is, but you got Filter playing. Hey man, nice
Yep.
shot. And
But
then
it's
it keeps
perfect.
cutting
It's
back to
perfect for this.
car
You got
that's
to admit
following.
it is. Like it's a good choice for music for this scene.
It is.
It's perfect, and you got the collector Billy Zane following him from behind.
A Trans Am, my favorite fucking cars of all time. Dude.
Fire chicken.
In mid 70s fucking Trans Am with the big old bird on the fucking hood. It's a Cadillac he's driving. Okay. And,
He's out of gas because that's what happens when you drive a Cadillac. They suck that gas right up.
yeah. They literally get half a mile to the gallon.
Yeah.
Kassir, voice of the Crypt Keeper. What's up, John? Thank you. As Ryder runs out of gas, he fucking spins his car sideways, cover the middle of the road. He gets out his little fucking rifle. He starts shooting at Billy Zane, who's going towards him.
It's like a
Double shot.
Winchester lever action rifle, old school. It's pretty awesome.
Lever action's
Mm-hmm.
definitely they're fun, It's under the hood. The Trans Am actually catches fire from the hood, but he's still driving like demonic car if there's
yeah,
ever been
that's
one.
what it looks like. Yeah. Now this is real stunt drivers in here too. When this crash is going to happen, that's another cool thing.
Oh.
Well, not literally in the car when the crash happens, but like a guy is driving. He's driving and he jumps out of the car when they did the shot. I read that's how they did it. They didn't like have robots like they do now where you can drive the car. You know what I mean? You had to have a stunt driver bail out.
Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I will say that's weird is they did play this filter song in the beginning. They started with the second verse. And when Billy Zane comes on camera, they go to the chorus. Then when the music starts back up, they play the first verse. I don't know why they.
I don't know the song as well as you do, but yeah, I'll take your word on that.
I mean, it still fits. It doesn't matter. Great song. And Baker looks down at his hand. You see the glowing of the stars, and throughout the entire movie, we're gonna have to reference it again. But throughout the entire movie, his hand and these stars, they glow and they move their orientation on his hand.
He has tattooed stars on his hand, and when something happens, the stars light up and move or whatever. And they get into it later. You don't need to know what they are now. It's just kind of
when we get to a more appropriate time, we can actually kind of tell you a little bit more.
So they're in Wormwood, New Mexico, by the way, in case anyone wants to know. I don't know if it's a fake town or not, but
it's cool. Baker runs up to a cafe. It's nighttime, and he's trying to steal a car from the parking lot. Is a butterfly knife? Yeah, it's a butterfly knife.
Yeah.
In the lock, trying to pick it, and this kid comes around and he's like, "Hey, steal my dad's car."
Is that kid?
Like,
his name Eddie or something?
Eddie or Danny or some shit.
Danny, that's what it was. Danny. Yeah.
Danny.
Why are you trying to steal my dad's car? How about a quarter, buddy?
Breaker's like, no, I'm testing the locks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, would you like a quarter? It's like a quarter. Dude, my buddy's mom used to give him $100 so she can go fuck off at the casino. I need more than a quarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least 20. You know what I mean? Like,
a fucking
at least a 20 spot. Because I would get a 20 spot or a 30 spot every 2 to 3 hours, depending on how every 2 hours while we were there. So, depending on how she was doing.
If she was doing good, you were getting.
You got more money because I'm sticking around. But our homeboy Dick Miller,
some kind of warehouse or a building. I don't know where this was. Dick Miller pops out of nowhere,
playing the lovable drunk he always is in every movie, just about.
And he just shows up, like Dick Miller wandered on the set, and they're like, "Oh fuck, that's Dick Miller! Oh, get the cameras going, guys!
You want to be in a movie? Come on, let's put you in a movie."
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck, I've already been in everything else. Might as well."
He kind of gives the cast like a cult grindhousiness to him, because no one else really is like like William Sadler's semi-established now. He's not like he's like kind of in the mids of his career or starting, but like no one was. He's not huge. He's not huge yet,
And Dick Miller, with all of his associations with Corman and 80s, I mean, he is an iconic, underground star.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then, with the whole Tales from the Crypt thing, it's supposed to be kind of like a old grindhousey feel,
Introduced finally. 2 police officers show up to the accident. Both cars are on fire. They're saying that it was abandoned. But then Billy Zane's fucking Walker, Texas Ranger character walks from the burning rubble. And he's like, "Oh, did you see the guy I was chasing? He ran off." The cops are just like, they're pretty fucking stupid.
They're the
like
typical podunk police we talk about. Like,
They are the epitome of the Last House on the Left cops.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's funny is that mission / old church thing, because of where this is and what it looks, definitely could be from Dusk. No, the Dusk Till Dawn type of place. Yeah. Like it definitely has that same feel to it.
I saw when I watched this originally today. I even said like, dude, that totally fucking could have been it. Yeah, old man Dick Miller. His name's Uncle Willie, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's Dick Miller. Dick Miller plays one character all the time.
How about a nice stiff
Dick
one,
Miller.
Dick?
Oh man.
Well, we didn't mention
It's like,
Cordelia,
yeah,
the other girl in here. She's kind of like the fucking house prostitute, sort of. But
we didn't really, but
No.
she's not really a star. Or
well, I
nothing
mean,
like
she
that.
might
But
be.
she's
I
in
didn't
the
look
movie.
her up, but it's just like she's a good-looking woman. You know, she's not.
She looks okay.
Yeah, she's a good-looking woman. All right. Yeah, you know, I think she looks good. But I mean, you know, we just went with like the main characters we know of. I'm sure she's probably done something, but Caroline's kind of like the Cinderella of the group here.
She was in Under Siege 2, L.A. Confidential,
That was a big movie, though.
Spa. That was
Depending on
Hot Shots
who she
Part
was. in
2.
there.
She's been in some stuff.
Yeah.
You're introduced to Jada Pinkett's character, who's kind of like
You know what's really scary? She
You
really looks like her son, or her son really looks like her. The way she's dressed right now, it could totally be her son walking up the stairs right now, and I would not realize that's her.
it's weird because she does have like that mannerism as she walks. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Well, she's
very
supposed to be
natural,
like
not, you
tough girl chick, so they have her very masculinely dressed in this movie. You know, she's
short hair. They
Mhm.
said she served some time, so
yeah.
no. But she's like the superintendent or whatever. She cleans, she cooks, she does laundry, she fixes stuff. Of a bitch in the beginning.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's a lot being asked of her. Well, you know what I mean?
She
Big
is.
Mama's house here.
Mhm.
She's telling her, "Oh, do this, I'll do that." What is that character's name? Mama's house. What's her name?
I don't know, like Martin Lawrence you're talking about, like that movie.
Irene.
I mean, like.
Irene in this movie.
Yeah, I know, but you said
CCH
you
Pounder.
said Big Mama's house. I thought you were talking about the Martin Lawrence movie. I'm like, why are you bringing that up? What are you talking about?
That's Big Mama. That's who she is. She's Big
Don't
Mama.
call her Big Mama's house. That's kind of rude.
She's a portly black woman.
No,
Big Mama.
but still.
Oh fuck! What?
No,
Are
I'm just
we
saying.
gonna get some BLM people?
No,
coming
that's
after
not
us
what I was
now?
getting at. I'm just saying, like, if you forgot her name, you could have just called her CCH Pounder, her real name. How can you forget that one? Like, she has like a straight up almost porn name for a real name.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was trying to forget it. Mama's house.
Big Mama.
Oh, what? That's not a good movie. You don't like Big Mama's house?
I didn't like Big Mama's house. Did you like Big Mama's house?
I'm trying to bust your balls. Oh, and the postman in this movie is like a genuinely good guy. You can see like
Well,
he's in love
yeah.
with the whore. And,
He's got a crush on
it's a
Cordelia.
friend
Yeah.
zone. Yeah. The cops put Billy Zane in the back of the car, and they're driving to the area where the car. Someone reported that their car was almost broken into,
Yeah.
so they're gonna go to the cafe where Breaker tried to break in. And he's, Billy's just telling them.
Yeah. And Thomas Hayden
what-
Church, he's just the father of that kid. We didn't mention that earlier. He came running out.
Oh, he's a customer, or he works for him.
Oh, I thought because
Kid-
he ran out. I thought he was the father of that kid. Because he's like, hey, Dad,
you
someone's
at?
breaking. No, earlier when they broke into the car.
Yeah.
So I thought that was his kid because he's like, hey, Dad, someone broke in your car, and he comes running out. So I thought that was his dad.
Oh, I think he washes dishes at that
All right,
restaurant.
yeah.
But you'll see here in
his
a
name
bit-
is Roach, which just makes him a dirty character in general. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Like it's
Name.
very
good name.
very well named character.
You'll remember later when the parents become possessed.
What's that?
When they find remember when they find Danny and the
yeah.
parents are both possessed? Oh, Roach was still alive when that happened.
All right, yeah, that's right.
Oh, now we got Oz. One thing neither of us fucking mentioned in the
What?
part, and we should have. Cryptkeeper, Tales from the Crypt, known for having some of the best shitty puns in writing history.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you listen to Cryptkeeper, you know ghouls and you know what I mean. Like everything is just pun. This movie has some of those moments too, where you know the hooker is like leaning on the table while Breaker's trying to eat, and the cat jumps on. And, you know, Pounder over here comes over. She's like, "Get that pussy off the table!" And then the girl jumps off, and you know,
so it's
she's
not
like,
you.
I mean, you. There's a few moments like that. They're gold. Makes up the movie very well.
Good evening, motel people. He's so sleazy though. It's so fucking funny.
The Black Cat actually plays a little bit bigger role in the movie here coming up. So don't forget, there is a cat in this movie. I kind of forgot when I was watching earlier. When the fuck
They
did
actually
say
call
that
it.
cat?
They call it a him, and then they call it a her later. It's like a continuity issue of this movie. It's something I read earlier. Yeah, it's something I read in the Goofs. There wasn't anything like majorly good. That's why I never really go over the Goofs a lot of the times, whatnot. And then like something will happen in the movie, and it just kind of like, oh yeah, I read that in there. But it's just kind of it fits more going through here, than going over it in the first
there's
part.
like actual bloopers that we can see.
Yeah,
we can see the you know what I mean. Where are you at?
19010 almost.
Okay, so you didn't pause earlier?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just Roach coming in, talking, nothing, and then she calls the police now because of what Roach said about him being at the little mission
Faye or
whatever you want to call it. It's like a
the
it's
sign
almost like a
says
boarding
cafe.
house.
I would
Yeah.
have called.
No, I'm
you're
talking their
talking-
place. Yeah, she called because what happened there. She's calling him over to her like boarding house or whatever you want to. It's not really a motel, I guess.
would say
it's like
I would say if it was in Europe, it would be a hostel.
Yeah.
Where you can be for weeks, months at a time, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
But they do have a dining room
Yeah.
and a kitchen, like.
That's why I called
They
it
said
more
it
of a
used to be
boarding
a
house.
church.
It's like you like when we were talking about with the boarding house killer, the old lady. You know, she ran like a similar type. You see these type of
Puente.
places. Yeah, Dorothy Puente. Yep.
Yeah.
Death
She
House
was a good one.
Landlady. Patreon exclusive.
If you guys
Actually, that one's not. That's on YouTube.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
you guys want to catch some of our Serial Killers Academy that isn't on Patreon, go check out that episode.
I
on
think we
YouTube.
have. I
It's very
think we
good.
have 4 of them up there. No, 4 of them on YouTube though. I think there's 4
Okay.
on YouTube.
Now the cops walk in, and immediately Breaker makes contact with the collector, and he grabs Jada and he puts the knife to her throat. I guess this is our first establishing of these two. Here's the thing. I don't agree with this, but I read a few reviews where people said that they liked in the first 25 minutes of the movie or 20 minutes of the movie that you didn't know who the bad guy really was. Was the collector the good guy? Was Breaker the bad guy? And I said, how would anyone think Billy Zane is a good guy?
I know,
in
especially in this movie, especially in this one. How? Yeah,
So
there's
I
no
don't-
way. But those
Nostalgia Critic was one.
those are probably some of the people that gave it shitty reviews in general, though.
Oh, Nostalgia Critic, he gave it a good review, and he's like, I like how in the movie, in the beginning, you don't know who the bad guy or who to trust. I'm like, what the? It's Billy Zane.
Yeah,
What are you
I don't know.
talking about?
I feel like it's probably him copying and pasting someone else's review.
But, yeah, and if it was a bad review, but he put it on,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Because a lot of those people, I don't feel like I'm not trying to shit on other YouTube channels, but like I feel like a lot of those people just kind of watch each other's videos and copy and paste each other's stuff.
Say all the same things.
It's a lot of them is very similar, and then the only thing difference is their little personas they put in their videos. It's kind of like the only differences.
The problem with that,
Which is where we're
usually
different.
tends
We
to
actually
be-
go over the movies, and we don't really our persona is us. You just see us. We're not trying to be something we're not to sell.
When we review a movie, we review it literally right after we sit through it. You are getting our exact thoughts on this movie because we watch it as we break it down. This isn't something that, I watched it earlier. We've seen it before, but we literally just had a fresh screening. This is 100% how we feel. Yeah, we can pull some reviews that other people have done, but if I don't agree with them or he doesn't agree with them, I mean, we're not going to do it for the sake of being cool.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of YouTube people are afraid to criticize movies because people may attack them. Like, oh, you didn't like this movie? What's wrong?
Speaking of being criticized, I'm going to criticize him and his nipple clamps and car battery right now. Because as we're talking, they're looking around, and Roach and Cordelia are getting it on, and she has a car battery hooked up to his nipples, frying his ass, and it's hilarious.
But
Pervo
like little
cop
clips.
Yeah,
not like the big old car battery ones. They're like little Roach clips.
No, it's still attached to the car battery, and she was controlling the voltage, or But it's just funny.
That's how car batteries work. Yeah.
No, she had a controller. You can separate it.
I didn't see the control. I just saw the battery.
Yeah, she was turning it, like adjusting. So there was like a switch in between the battery and
the cables.
Yeah. It was
like
sort
a regulator or something.
Yeah, it was sort of legit.
Oh, do our podcasts always talk about fucking car batteries at some point?
This is probably like the third or fourth one out of like 17 episodes that we've talked about car batteries. But
so
inadvertently,
many references.
Inadvertently, it was more about how she had something rigged up. So our podunk sheriff and deputy here are basically going to do. They're trying to interrogate him, like basically in here, and then he realizes he's not going to talk. So they're like, "I just want what he stole from me," as before he takes him back to downtown. Our collector Billy Zane.
They've been looking for it. You know, they're walking around the building, making sure they find it, whatever. And he's like, "Look, instead of me coming down there and doing all this paperwork, why don't I just collect what's mine?" And Dick Miller, fucking you sneaky rat prick, goes, "Oh, I know where he stored it. I saw him put it there." And Breaker tries to stop him, and Dick's like, "Sorry, man." And he literally just goes right under the desk where he's sitting. He's like, "Boom, here it is."
I want to know how it stayed under the table. Because
he didn't pull a drawer open or nothing. So...
No. Did he?
Listen, the collector has a suitcase, and this key fits directly in it. So obviously he's like, "Yeah, it's mine. Look, I have the case." But Billy Zane, the collector, says, "Oh, he put some kind of liquid in there. You mind dumping
Something
that out
awful.
before putting it in there?"
Yeah. And what you find out later, it's blood in there. It's the blood of the last keeper of the key, and it's kind of.
Well,
yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
It was supposedly the blood of
Jesus. Yeah.
Was the
well? I was gonna wait. I was just gonna say it's the blood of the last keeper, the religious, but yeah. Originally.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be there.
Yeah, we'll get. So.
Ow.
They never really. Yeah. Fully. They never really. Yeah. Trying to get the right words here. Yeah, but they never fully explain whether if it's been completely dumped out, can they just fill it with their blood because they're now the next holy man? You know what I mean? Like, because it kind of gets fully dumped out later in the movie, and then he refills it. But is there just residue from Jesus's blood? You know, they don't really. You know.
One point in this, I think they said. He was talking about, he was like, it was damn near empty.
Yeah.
And the guy refilled it from his neck. So, like, implying that it was it was almost empty, but I guess there was just enough in there that you add it and it makes, and that's what I got from it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I guess as long as there was some, I mean, if it gets washed out, like, are they screwed? I wonder what the lore is, what I'm getting at with this,
They don't talk about. Yeah. I mean, they do talk about you could wash the blood away because obviously we're going to be talking about that here soon. If that container loses all of the blood at some point, is it pretty much just the fucking Spencer?
Or do you have to fill it up with your blood because you're technically the next holy person So it turns out Breaker
the
is kind of
Collector?
well, not the Collector, the Breaker. The Collector is the bad guy.
Yeah. The guard or the guardian or whatever
yeah.
they call it. Yeah.
So is Breaker the next guy that can just? I mean, eventually they do fill it with his blood, but how much was actually in it? The other stuff, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So I backed up to 25:47 right before the punch, because I'm sure we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. I'm actually at 25:52, so I'll let you hit play first.
All right, I'll let you know when we get there.
Any one of you people out there who said that you had a little bit of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy? This is going to remove all doubt.
Yeah.
The bad guy and who the good guy is.
So now the cops finally come to their senses and are basically going to take them. I didn't hit play yet. I'm just talking for a second.
Hold on.
Yeah.
46 is what I backed.
Okay,
to.
so you're 1 second behind me. I'll tell you when I hit play, and then we can. But the cops are going to take them down to the station, both of them now. So that's when our collector Billy Zane gets.
They
a little
found out
mad.
that both cars were reported stolen.
Yes.
So now the cops actually know it's not just the one guy and the other. They're take them down for some questioning.
All right, so hit play, and then I'm gonna hit mine right after you. So let me know when you hit play.
And play.
All right.
Billy's walking with his hands up. The police officer has a gun to his back. Turns around.
Such a great effect.
Straight Evander Holyfield. Right, punches him right in the face, goes through. His head gets stuck. On
and you
the
see the knuckles like through the back of his head. It's such a great practical effect. Like he's just stuck moving around, and he gets the keys, Breaker, and is trying to get out of his cuffs now this whole time. Irene
the collector
just
actually
pukes everywhere.
Yeah, the collector rips the head off of the body, trying to get it loose.
Yeah,
and punches Breaker with the fucking head.
He starts just punching multiple people with it. Actually, that's kind of funny part.
And the collector grabs Breaker. Breaker grabs the key, holds it to his face. You see it glow red. And Billy's like, "Oh, fuck.
Hold on.
Oh wait, pause."
That's why I was like,
Billy,
26:50 is where I'm paused. By the way, just sync up while you talk real quick. Where you at? 51.
51.
Okay.
So when Breaker puts the thing against his face, it glows red. Billy Zane's like, "Fuck!" and he runs. He jumps out the window, and as everyone walks to the window, you cut to this scene. It's filmed inside, but it's right out the window, so you just have this little bit of a frame. This is the scene that I've watched like 10 times today.
It's
the collector,
your favorite
he's
scene,
like,
probably.
"Fuck this hillbilly shit," and he takes off, throws off his
let's just
cowboy
let them
hat.
watch it. Well, I mean, you've already done it. Let's get them.
All right, throws off the long Walker Texas Ranger jacket, fucking hat. He still looks like a hillbilly.
For the most part,
unless
sort of.
Unless he gets naked. 651.
Damn my perfect hair! I can't wear my headset right.
No, I know it's bugging you.
It's
too.
bothering my ears. I keep doing. See, people, I did this hair for you because I haven't done it in like a couple weeks, and it came out so nice today. I mean, look at this. Look at this fan. Look at it.
You know what you should do? Next time you do your hawk, put your headphones on and build the hawk around it. You just have to wear your headphones.
The problem is, I'm not going to hear you in a sec, but it's so fat that it like just squishes so much hair.
It would be a big gap.
Yeah. That's just. But
yeah, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're 1 second ahead of me. I'm going to tell you when to hit play. We'll sync up, and we can see this magical Billy Zane moment. All right, play. Goddamn humors! Just gotta give me the key.
Dunk po dunk got well then there, motherfuckers.
But this part's awesome too because he like just cuts his hand and just sprays that
With
shit
his little
all
Coke
over.
pinky
Now
nail.
there's the green slime for the glow sticks.
He just
This is
throws it all over.
This
the
is
place.
very Ernest Scared Stupid in a way.
Yeah,
You know,
I
because
can
like
see
when
that.
the things drop and like all the demons come out of the ground from the tree, this is very similar. He sprayed his little green jism all over the ground, and now he's spawning demons out of the ground. I think he even pets one of them at one point in time here. in this scene.
Yeah, like, or kisses
Yeah.
it on the back of the head.
Yeah, or kisses it, pets it, kind of. Yeah, shows a little affection. That's a good reverse shot.
Obviously,
Like with a
reverse shot
Yeah.
when you're low on budget and you
Mhm.
got to show a transformation. You always reverse it, the melting effect.
Here it is, right here.
And kneels
Oh,
down.
so awesome
You can see the
looking.
little,
Yeah.
yeah. I would love to have one of those puppets. There's the like nice
Yeah.
little slimy.
And you
kiss
notice
on the
his
back of
face.
the
He
head.
kisses it, and he's like, like his face. Like, you know how that tasted gross. Like,
When you kiss your dog,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I love you too. Yeah. These demons, they actually kind of have like an alien-esque head, where it's like kind of like this big. They don't stay like that, but
no,
when they're
here they
being
are now.
born,
Like
or when
one of them, they just showed them a little more formed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
kind of grows.
very
normal
very
a little
cool looking design. Definitely.
Some of them have long hair. One of the hair was in a ponytail.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck is ever born
right
with
there.
a ponytail.
They have like a
already.
samurai, like, and a bunch of some of them have nipple rings and earrings, and
Saw that.
yeah,
I'm gonna say that, but I saw it.
yeah, it's kind of funny.
They
But
lose power.
it's a very interesting design on them, though. They did a really cool job. It's very unique, you know. Like I've never really seen monsters like that in another movie.
the thing.
Yeah.
Back when they didn't have all this CGI, they couldn't just rely on computer effects to build something, but they had to be original. So they had to sculpt and they had to use blood. I'm not getting monsters like this anymore because no one's fucking doing it the way they should. Damn it. Pissed me off.
So it's almost like
main gun.
it's almost like killer clowns from outer space, where you have to shoot them in the nose.
nose.
These things you got to shoot out their eyes. That's the only way you can kill them. It's very reminiscent of. It's very specific. Like that kind of sucks if you think about it. You have to shoot their eyes out. Everyone has to be like. I guess it's like every other
An
movie.
awesome shot.
Everyone's a crack shot.
You always want the shotgun. You want that spread,
Yeah.
man. You got to.
So
Baker's main gun. 44?
what's that?
Baker's main gun.
What about it? There is just a
44?
Hold on. Sorry, I had this a little too loud. I couldn't hear you. Breaker's main gun. What about it?
Is it a 44?
No, it's a police revolver. It's probably a 38.
38? Okay, because every time I
Yeah.
think 38, I think snub nose. I'm so used to seeing
Yeah.
the short snub nose 38s. I
Yeah.
almost forgot.
You got
an
to
actual-
figure like so for
Pause.
pause. I'm at
Okay.
38 actually, since we're talking about 38. It just kind of happened. But you got like most like I'd say like 90% of police weapons up until Glocks were made were 38s. That's what police carried.
The PP special or whatever.
Yeah,
Police
like
enforcer special.
you'd get a handful of their cops would carry their own secondary type stuff, or maybe like fancy law enforcement might carry like a 357 or something like that. But the 38 was the police gun. Now a 38's not. It's not a chump gun. A lot of people call it a sissy gun, but a 38 and a 9mm are very similar. 9mm is only a tiny bit bigger of a bullet than a 38. They're very similar in stopping power and size.
Never understood the people who said that 38 was like, they said it was like a macho 22. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, a fucking 22 and a 38 are not even in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure.
No.
You got to figure a 357 can fire 38 special rounds, so they're multi-chamber.
Exactly.
So I mean, granted, it's a little different than a regular 38 bullets. You know what I mean? But a 38 special
Your
still.
standard 38.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I had a 38 sitting around here because I have the Derringer,
Yeah.
and you know that's a pretty decent
Yeah.
size.
That's what I
fucking,
said. If you were to
bullet.
break it down to millimeters, I think it's like 8mm, roughly.
Okay.
It's an 8mm bullet, and then you have a 9mm is like, you know, or now standard, all police issue. 9mm is kind of the standard pistol bullet that everyone goes by these days. But 38 used to be kind of like the
was
thing
like-
for like the longest time till 9mm. Well, I mean 9mm has been around for a long time, but you know what I mean, like.
It wasn't the Glock 9mm that became as popular, because I know Berettas were around a long time too, and some
Yeah.
cops would carry Beretta.
Yeah,
And
it
they
depends
had
on the
9.
police force, but the average patrolman carried like a 38 up until
38.
like Berettas, became a little more popular, and then a police issue were 1911s. I mean, army issue was like 1911s for a long time, and then that's some other stuff going on. But they were all like
Basically,
9
when
millimeter.
Glock came in,
Yeah,
was the company that
yeah.
over.
But anyway, enough gun talk, stupid stuff. So real quick, let's catch up for a second before we hit play. You saw a couple scenes now where he took the key and he opened the top and he poured what we now know is blood, but no one knows what it is at the time. And it creates like a seal up across the whole window, and they got this little force field thing going on in the doorway. And then now there was one in a window here, so they're going to try to seal off the whole thing. But when the demon jumped through it, it exploded all over the kitchen. So it was another nice effect, actually, that happened right before this. So we're just moving on to that. So 30, 38, and play. Dick Miller.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
No,
The music is done very well too. It's another thing I like to mention, especially during the raising scene. That was it was so loud.
standard composed music for this, not like your soundtrack music, but the actual composed music. And I'm not talking about Tales from the Crypt theme, which is
No.
good. The actual composition is very good
Yeah.
for this movie. Like they definitely picked a right person.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I didn't even look earlier who did it. I feel a little bad.
No, because you
Edward
don't
Schumer,
really
yeah.
you don't really think about it too much.
I don't think a lot of standard, like normal moviegoers pay attention to it. If it wasn't there, would notice the difference.
Yeah.
Music makes a big difference in movies.
So this is kind of a comical scene a little bit. Fucking Cordelia gets stuck outside. Roach walks out for side for a second and then was like, "Ah, fuck this, I'm out of here." So then I guess we want to call him her simp, if you want to talk in today's terms. He's totally her. He's like
Friend
a simp.
zone.
Yeah, no, but he's like in today's terms though. I mean, like a guy that lusts after a girl that he can't have is like a simp,
Yes.
But
Hey, trying to come out with this
what's that?
20 PC fucking lingo. I
Yeah,
don't know.
hey man, we're trying to make it so people can understand what we're getting at, But he goes and saves her. He shoots the eyes out fine. Actually, he shoots in the head at first, and it laughs at him. And he's like, "Hey, you gotta shoot the eyes out." And when he does, they shoot lightning bolts out their eyes, and he got hit and shot into the building.
It's just weird because every demon that gets killed in this movie that gets shot in the eyes, no one else has that blowback. Like, lightning comes out, but it doesn't hit anyone else. But
It was pretty close. It was pretty close to some of the other people. It was probably just a bad angle, or it's part of the plot. You know what I mean? Like just to get him.
It was right on.
Yeah, he was right on it.
Now we have all the characters stuck in the hotel. It is boarded up, not boarded up, but like the liquid is on the windows, the doors. They can't get in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the barrier.
Now he's talking about how he's plugging the key right now.
Breaker is just trying to explain to these people what's kind of going on. These are demons. They're after us. They're after this key. This is blood. It's kind of protected. But like in this situation, got a bunch of people just, dude, what are you talking about? Like, this is bullshit. Like, yo, look, just saw demons outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What else do you
I
think
gotta
they are?
question my shit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a movie, but I mean, if it was real life and I see that shit, I start believing that person right away. You know what I mean?
And this
But
guy
like,
randomly shows up, and all this shit happens. I'm taking
Yeah.
his word to fucking the grave.
it's the gospel now. You know what I mean? Like, like whatever he says, all right, I believe you. I'm not gonna go fuck around with. But yeah, they gotta give him a hard time.
You ever notice that the good guy always has the ivory handles on his revolver? Always the white ivory fucking handles, man. It's okay. I think it's a little gaudy.
I guess it's like a. I never noticed that in a lot of movies personally, but you got to figure this is New Mexico. It's a very similar to Texas. It's a very gunslinger like town, so the ivory handles was like a gunslinger thing. It's a popular, but when you watch other movies, the good guy doesn't always have ivory handles, though. I mean, in my experience of seeing action
like
movies,
it's like a trope, though. It's like if you
I
see
actually
a
disagree.
pearl-handled revolver in a movie, it's usually not being held by the bad guy.
I
It's
disagree.
usually
I've seen a good fair amount. Especially with like older movies, when you start getting into some of these action movies that we talk about that you've never seen, a lot of them they're either no pearl handles, or it doesn't matter who is. It's back and you know what I mean. Like there's no, it's not really a trope.
even like in the old even in like the old spaghetti westerns and stuff like that. You see a lot of the good guys. Now, a lot of the bad guys, they would go with like the chrome plated or the gold plated, which I think is even more gaudy. Like, you know, who the fuck wants to go unless you're playing GoldenEye? You should not be using a gold gun.
Unless
What do
you're
you
an
want us to-
African warlord in a movie, like an African warlord in movies always have gold everything guns.
Yeah,
Or a Russian mobsters, they always have gold plated guns. The
Because
gold
they're
plated
just now-
AKs.
because they're just now getting the A team.
Yes.
They've had it for 30 years. Like they're just now seeing it. Flashback. Very much the last temptation of Christ. This is the first flashback you get in the movie when he looks out a piece of stained glass window and he sees the cross. Breaker starts like in these flashbacks. We'll find out later in the movie. I'm not going to ruin it right now. He starts getting these flashbacks of the crosses and someone being crucified, and then you know Jada Pinkett Smith walks in and he
Well,
back, you
one of the main things of that is a guy was trying to hand a demon the blood-filled
Right.
key, and he gets struck by lightning from the sky. And it's kind of funny, just because it goes against the movie because it's blood-filled, even though he wanted them to take the blood out earlier, but you can see the blood clearly in the key in that scene. So I wonder if it's just a continuity thing that they messed up on. Or, you know,
they just got the blood from the guy on the cross, and you know, like they just filled the key. You know,
yeah, but that demon should know that he can't handle it because there's blood. in it.
obviously, yeah.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I wonder if it was
I
just a
mean-
continuity thing. You know, that key's probably tinted a little bit of red when you
Like-
shine light through it. You know,
And like you said earlier, the collector or the people, the guardians cannot be tempted by the demons. What I mean, or the collectors.
yeah,
Demon trying to
they have to
work
be
out
pure
any
of
kind
heart.
deal.
They have to be sort of like this pure heart person, almost holy, like, you know.
That's what makes them so hard to find too.
Yeah. Yeah, only certain people, you know, are truly able to be like that. Now, I wonder if, like, she wasn't a big woman, but I wonder if she has a fat suit on now, so they make it easier for her to hide her arm later. Remember, because we were talking about that?
Is she only wearing it when she loses her?
Yeah, that's what
arm?
I'm wondering, if she's wearing it now. Because, like, I never really put two and two, because there's always a bigger woman, you know, in all her shows, but I don't know if she's this big or not. I wonder if she has her fat suit on now. She's kind of oddly shaped. I'm assuming it's on right now, but we'll have to see later when she loses her arm to really go into that. It's something that's bothering me now since it's just something that's bothering me since we learned about it.
Though.
Yeah.
But there's enough scenes coming up that after she loses her arm that we can actually take a look and say, okay, yeah, that's got to be it. Here you just have a basic conversation with the mailman and Roach. Roach is like, you know, we got to work together, blah blah blah. Even though the mailman was like, dude, you know, you left her out there to die. You're a coward and blah blah blah. Oh, he's playing the stereotypical good guy, bad guy. You said the simp or whatever. Then Cordelia walks in.
Simp.
He's like, you know, you're an asshole. You left me outside.
He's a simp and she's a thought.
It's just your basic, like, it's not setting up anything particular.
Well, it's setting up for him to give his life later for everyone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's payoffs to these
Yeah.
little scenes. I did notice originally watching this earlier today, there are a lot of very short scenes in this movie, like 5-6 seconds, and then it jumps to something else. And it's very popular in television because you only have so much time to work with. We talked about it earlier. The director of this movie has done literally everything, so he knows what he's doing.
But I also wonder how much was actually cut out of this. I wonder if there's a director's cut floating around somewhere. Because they never released one, but I wonder if there's one floating around. I did Google it earlier and I found nothing. So, but I'm just curious. I mean, I like the movie the way it is now, but I wonder if there's anything extra. You know, there's always something out there. But I don't know. So right now we're going to learn that the demons can possess people because he went and tested the cat to make sure by putting the key on it that it wasn't possessed. So that's something you have to learn about. And they're finding about old mine shafts in this building. So Roach was kind of a real dick to Cordelia a second ago, and he slapped her and was a real piece of shit, basically. So now we're going to get our first Billy Zane tempting scene.
My favorite of his, it's done well.
This one's your favorite? This one's your favorite, you said?
I said this one's not my favorite, but it's done well.
Yeah, they're all done well, yeah. Come on, man. Fucking Willie. Willie with his girls is the best.
Yeah, come on. The only thing I've read about director's cut is the only version of this that's ever been released has been the theatrical version.
Yeah. They called the director's cut in Germany when they released it, and then it got taken down and they changed the cut so it wouldn't be confiscated. There's an brief thing that I read. It was a couple lines, but I don't know what they meant by that. If it was an actual director's cut, or they just called it a director's cut because they had to re-edit it. It was like our version, I guess. Because Germany's different. Yeah. For certain European countries are different.
They couldn't call it like the pussy cut, so they had to put our name on it.
I mean, right now Billy's just talking sweet nothings to her, trying to get her. You know, he's kind of in her daydream here to get her to give him the key and whatnot. But so
this is a cool little effect because she's at the window and she's crying because he's saying all the right stuff. As he moves his hand towards her from the outside, you see the tear roll down her face.
Well, then he's touching her lips. Then he's touching her lips now, like he's like seducing her.
Yeah, in real life, to shoot that, they probably just held like a big ass fan in front of her face.
Probably. I mean, they probably could have done it with a hair dryer. You don't need a big ass fan. Hair dryer. Yeah,
something to push air right in her face, and she did good. She sold it well.
But a lot of things, like in Australia and Germany, a lot of games and stuff that get released here.
Yeah. Australia's the worst.
Germany's actually the worst. Worse than Australia. Yeah. They will literally put different weapons or and they cut certain things or turn the blood green. Like Korea's another one like that, like where they turn the blood different colors, but they will edit a lot of things out and replace it with other stuff or change the name. Like it's so bad the way they do it.
In Europe, they also have what they call the video nasties list.
Yeah.
Which in America would basically just be your NC-17, your X-rated stuff, but a lot of R-rated stuff made it on that video nasty list, and I think it's kind of funny
because it doesn't meet their criteria.
I always thought that was yeah. Theirs is much different than ours.
Well, it's like exact opposites, you know. Like but you can just watch porn ads. You know, they have like naked girls on orange juice commercials, like. In
England, they can say shit and fuck on national TV, not get censored. It's like Gordon Ramsay's TV shows that air in England and stuff, they say shit like that. They curse and it's not censored.
But they get censored for a lot of other stuff there, though. It's not like I'll trade out the whole shit and fuck on regular TV for our freedoms that England does not have.
Some blood and gore and titties,
Yeah. No, I just mean in general. Like, you can get arrested for doing a comic, like being a comedian, and
I know.
Yeah. So that's what I meant by that.
Oh.
So Cordelia now is possessed. She failed the test and basically kills her little friend zone man
Well,
there.
did she kill him, or did Breaker just try shooting through him to get to her?
No, he was eating them. She was eating them before that. And then she
I know,
picked
I'm
them up.
saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
He just like straight up tried to shoot
Yeah.
through someone to get her.
yeah. But she's like a pretty
Now-
cool fucking monster too. She got like this whole
Very
like
much.
snake-like jaw that like comes apart and opens up. Like it's pretty awesome.
Very much an Evil Dead 2
Mhm.
feel.
Oh, so
This is
brutal.
it.
Yeah. She gets her arm ripped off.
Cordelia breaks her arm against the door frame first, like breaks it, then rips it off from the elbow.
It's like a real.
Now every time
It's like a real ghetto Steven Seagal version of ripping someone's arm off.
every time we see a Pounder, we're gonna see if she's wearing a fat suit or not, because now her arm is missing.
See this
And,
would be an easy scene just to hide an arm right now, so I don't think they'd have it there. But when she was standing briefly before, she looked exactly the same when her arm actually got ripped off. But you could have
Makes me
actually
believe she wore it throughout the
yeah,
whole
but
movie.
you could also have hit it on the other side of the wall too, though. Like just held it back behind. You never would have. But I don't know. We'll find. We're gonna see in a second. We're gonna see how noticeable or
The
not
best
noticeable
scene-
it is.
Best scene is gonna be at the end with the vest when her and the
Yeah,
cop are
yeah.
together. That's gonna be the best way to see. Basically, what's his name here? Roach is trying to convince him, why don't you just give him what he wants?
Yeah.
We can all get the fuck out of here. And Breaker just straight up, pulls the gun on him. He's like, dude, you try taking this key off me, I have no problem killing you. Like, you're nothing. You know what I mean?
Sacrificing the hair.
Well,
My ears hurt too much.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, you know what? They got it for a good 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
So
See how much it smushes? Smushes a good chunk of it.
yeah. You know what? If your hair was longer by like 2 inches, you might be able to like meet it back at the top. Over, Who knows?
Touch chips together, spray. It's hairspray. But see, I'm even wearing it back. Like it would be up here more, so it would be cutting like the top half
Like
more.
the
yeah.
main part of the
Yeah.
hawk. Basically, they're trying to help out Pounder. She had her arm ripped off. They poured vodka on it. She's drinking it. And basically, everyone right now is kind of against Baker. Like, they don't trust the guy,
Mhm.
and they want to find a way out to try to get help for Pounder. Irene. Sorry, Irene.
Irene. I can call her Pounder. We all know who you're talking about. It is her last name, so. Well, they're trying to now. They got these mine shafts that we mentioned briefly earlier down in the basement. Is it air? And they're trying to break through the wood here. And now Breaker's gonna have another flashback here of a man getting crucified on the cross. There's actually multiple men because this is like kind of they're playing it in reverse a little bit, almost. Because they showed the other one after, and now they're showing
Did you
this
see
one.
this?
What?
Pause.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing. I'm explaining it right now. Like so.
Yeah, no, but I was just gonna reference
Yeah.
to earlier. There was 3 people being crucified because in the Bible, that's what that
Yeah.
happened when Jesus, Barbosus and I forget the other guy's name. The demon was walking over to the guy, and blood dripped on his head. And when the guy looked up, it was the blood from the hand.
Well, it dripped on
of
his
Christ,
hand. I didn't see it
so-
drip on his head.
Yeah, it dripped. Yeah, it dripped on the demon
As he dripped on his hand as he was reaching for he had the key in his hand. The other guy.
key.
Yeah.
Then the guy pretty much just held the key up to where the blood was coming down. So I guess that's he got it. But in that original scene, it didn't look like that. Like you said, it looked like it was already filled. And he tried to grab him.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder because it's the same guy that gets struck by lightning. Like it almost seems like this happened already, but they showed the later on, even though there was no one on the cross, and it doesn't really line up the way they did the first scene because the crosses were empty. He's walking over. He's walking over, gonna give the key, which looks like it's already filled, to the demon. He gets struck by lightning. Now they cut to a scene where it's supposed to be the biblical, where Jesus gets crucified. And you have the 3 people up there, and he has this key randomly, and the demon goes to try to get the key from him, and blood drips on the demon, and then he's like, "Oh, let me fill it up with this blood. They can't have the key now." like both scenes don't line up, and it majorly bothers me. It almost like it was like in reverse.
Now,
Like,
is
I don't know,
there
but it couldn't be.
Is there
'cause,
more
I don't know.
flashback scenes later in the movie, or is that the last one?
There might be. I know there's a World War II or World War One flashback when
World War
Breaker
One, but,
Breaker
of
gets
the
the key. I don't know if there's any more. There might be one more flashback when she gets the key, and
Okay.
it does like a whole.
So I might have to just pay attention to the
Yeah,
last one, because
yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
Is there anything that
Yeah,
ties
I
it together?
wonder if there's
but-
anything that ties it together. I don't know. But this is what
I'm at
happens. We haven't watched a
47,
movie in a couple
47.
years, even though you've seen it over 100 times. But
Yeah.
I never really, I don't know. I didn't really start picking, like, I picked certain movies apart, but I never really started, like, 100% picking movies apart like we do now until recently. You know, I picked movies apart and I looked at little things, but never this closely until we're actually,
I
like,
think the
talking to
movies
people
that you
about it.
pick apart were like the ones that you were watching all the, like Killer Clowns. You watch all the time. You picked that apart
Yeah.
before because you've seen it so
Yeah.
many times. But these movies where it's like you've seen it maybe 10 times in your life.
No, I've
you always just happen to
I've literally probably seen this movie like 90 times. No,
Right, but
joking.
you're always
Yeah.
sitting in for the good moment.
Yeah,
the good
yeah. I'm
time.
just sitting there lounging, watching it, or showing someone else the movie. Like Killer Clowns, I literally watched that and a couple other movies almost every day for like 10 years. Like I literally
just have to
watched
play
it.
it while you're doing
I had to play,
something, or-
yeah, while I was on. I had a whole, because I didn't have cable or anything. You know, the internet and Netflix and stuff was like, it was a thing.
is
It
actually-
was sort of a thing, but not really like it is now in streaming
Just
networks.
starting.
Yeah, it wasn't like it is now. So I would just put movies on a second screen and just keep swapping them while I'm playing video games or doing whatever.
That is how I built my DVD collection. Is moving into a house that never had cable. End up buying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a certain couple movies.
Where are
I've
you
watched
at
all
in the
time.
movie?
I'm at 47.50.
47, 47. I say 48, 49. Boom. Roach is breaking the wood that leads to the mine shaft, and they're looking in there. Dick Miller actually said he knows his way around the mine shafts. Doesn't surprise me because he snuck up on our main character earlier in the movie out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
I actually do believe that he does know the mines.
Well, also Dick Miller's so old, he probably worked these mines at one point.
no, honestly,
in
no,
this
he probably
town.
knew
Yeah.
like the construction of them.
We got to
while
figure.
it
You got to
actually
figure
happened.
like in some of these like smaller towns, even to this day, like they still mine. Like that's still like it's still a big thing.
I live in Northeast PA.
Yeah.
I know they mine.
No,
all
no.
the
What I'm
time,
saying
yeah.
in a lot of areas, like it's mining's still a thing. I don't think people realize like it's still a big industry. Coal. It's not just an overseas thing. The mining you usually hear about is like for rare elements and diamonds, like overseas in Africa, for your cell phones. Like if people knew some of the shit
South
that went into,
America and stuff.
yeah, if people knew what went through to get their cell phones, like the lithium for the batteries and other rare, like to make cell phones actually work, you know, the processors, people wouldn't be buying some of this stuff. You
Yeah.
know?
Why do you think Pennsylvania freaked out when Hillary Clinton said that she was going to get rid of coal?
Yeah. Well, Pennsylvania is
They
one of
were
the
running-
largest coal producing states in the country.
And it's one of the top ranked in the world.
Oh, is it the
with how
world?
much
Oh,
coal
I
they
didn't know that.
produce.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
like
in the top 5.
yeah, I know it's like in the somewhere in the top 3 in the country because there's one or two other states that are outrank us, but we're talking like some random state like Alabama or something, but that's all they got. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
Virginia also has a lot of coal.
yeah,
too.
no, but you know what I mean. Like it's literally like there's like one state that ranks above PA, but that's literally like their only business.
Like Nebraska's like just filled with corn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you want corn, you're going to Nebraska. Idaho's potatoes, whatever.
Well, I mean,
If we have fans from Idaho, you
it's
know,
a
and you
part
guys
it's
have
a
anything
part
else
joke,
going on
but the
out there.
Nebraska football team is Nebraska Cornhuskers. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
literally
That's what I'm
like
saying. It's
and yeah.
Nebraska's literally
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
corn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff there too, but you know what I mean.
I doubt it.
There's
There
got
are Nebraska
Nebraska's
fans,
like
don't take offense.
it's like 90% corn. Okay, there's got to be 10% of something else there.
Dude, even the children of the corn, Gatlin,
Yeah.
Nebraska. Oh,
Well,
finally come across this kid again.
Yeah, Danny's hiding in the mines.
It's like the kid from the Halloween remake. Not a fan of that kid.
You didn't like him?
Not too much, no. Now, yes,
Mom and
we
Dad,
see his parents were possessed. What?
I don't understand. Like, so his parents are possessed. I guess he's hiding from them, but they obviously found him pretty quick. I don't know. It's just more weird movie plot holes. Like, I'm just kind of picking this apart.
They were like right on his.
Yeah,
tail
they were
when
literally
Jada
right there.
actually
So
found
I
him.
wonder if they were technically using him for bait. You think maybe they would think someone would come in? Do the demons think like that? They seem more mindless than anything, though. You know, they're just sort of
Seem
killing
like they're
machines. I don't think they're
after-
smart enough. They're just drones.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what-
yeah.
It's hard to say because, like you said, they came from nothing. Billy Zane pretty much brought them up from the ground. Oh, now this is important. Roach goes to shoot his old boss.
Well, but he sealed off the area. We had to specify that he sealed off the area, and they can't get
the
through.
area was sealed off, and they couldn't make it back into the room. Then Roach wanted to exact a little revenge by shooting his boss in the head. That broke the barrier.
Yeah, it broke the seal. Now
we
it can't be
find out-
resealed if you break a barrier. So it's a problem.
So something were to happen to the front door, the this or that, with a gunshot explosion, they're just running out of room in this big ass building where they can actually hide.
So I guess it's a good thing that most of this building is made from stone, like, and concrete, like of the old. Because if it was like a wood building, yeah, you can seal, say, like the basement door, but you can just break through the wall. You know what I mean? Like it would be a major plot hole if it was a different house. Yeah.
You'd have to walk the entire perimeter of the walls of the house to try to get some kind of force field. Or,
And I don't know if that would work because it couldn't make a seal on anything. You have to do it on the inside, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there's a loophole around that. If they could just rip the roof off. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't seal anything.
Good thing it's concrete.
Yeah. But so earlier they accidentally knocked the key over and it dropped on the ledge where they're at now, the upstairs, which is metal, and it sealed the area.
The
so
top stair.
yeah, so they ran up the stairs and they were running for cover, and then inadvertently, now they're all stuck upstairs because the demons are in the first floor of this building now because of Roach's dumbass trying to be greedy fuck and shooting through the force field.
So they're all the bedrooms and the attic are upstairs, obviously.
Yeah.
But everything else that was downstairs, the kitchen, the dining room, your main exits, they are all downstairs. So pretty much they're stuck. And they said till like morning or daylight. Now, this is where we get another flashback, but this is more of Breaker's flashback, how he became, the guardian that he became.
Trench
fights. Says later in the movie, this is from 1917, so this is World War One.
Yep.
And he's in the trenches with the buddy, and his buddy's bleeding from his arm, and he takes the key, and you see him put the blood in there, and as he hands it to Breaker now starts having all these flashbacks of like the crucifixion and like what's going on and stuff. So
he's gonna learn the story of the key and how it got it, and
Guardians get all of the memories of the previous Guardian when it's handed to him. It's funny because as soon as the flashback's over, he looks at his hand and the stars are there, and he has this look in his eyes like he's seen some shit. Can you imagine being given like 3,000 years worth of history all in like 5 seconds?
He's now got that 1,000-yard stare, but in a bad way. You know what I mean? You get that 1,000-yard stare, and it's like you can stare someone down and look through their soul, but you also have that 1,000-yard stare where you're like out of it and freaked out, and you're just not in a good place. Basically.
Look, we're in our 30s, and we can look back at our life and remember what we remember. But imagine having the memories of like over 2,000 years. Fuck, dude.
So now we learn about how the stars have to line up. He needs sacrifices, basically. He's like, I thought you'd be saved because there was only 5 of you, and then the sheriff and Bob showed up, and so it was like when the stars start aligning on his hand and start spreading out, that's how many people. When they're all in a circle, in a wide circle now, that's a bad thing. It's a no-go. Yeah.
Explains, he's like, I can't explain it. It's just 7. There's 7 people. This 7. This. There's 7 of us now because Danny is the kid. He's back up. Oh, they're at a number disadvantage. Basically, without saying it, he would be, one of us has to go.
He's talking biblical times now, and he's going into the whole story. He's saying how the world was full of creatures and demons. It was all dark. They had 7 keys formed in a circle. It gets kind of crazy. They're talking about focusing this power, the powers of the cosmos until God stepped forth and was like, "Let there be, let there be light."
Demons get 6 of the keys. If they got the 7th, bad. That's basically what this guy's job is, and everyone before him. Keep that key away from the demons. That's the entire history of humanity. There's always been a guardian.
They weren't given 6 of the keys. They were scattered all across the universe. And he's like, fast forward a few, I think he said millennia. And now the demons have 6 of them. This is the last key, and they're trying to get it.
It's not something
they want to bring the darkness back.
Keys.
Yeah. It was just the way we were explaining it. It sounded like they were given. I don't know.
No, I'm without the blood in it. They already have 6 of the keys. I wonder what those keys do without the blood in it.
Well, he's saying when you put all the keys together, they open up the dark. I guess a portal or whatever, and it brings the darkness back. That's what he's saying. In a way, that's what I'm assuming. They don't really 100%.
I know there's time constraints because of a movie and this and that, but a better explanation here would have went a long way. I think they were trying to oversell it.
So hold on. All right, so let's pause just for a split second here. And I know we're running on time here, but so they're talking about the keys. They're talking about when he got it. He's saying, you remember the big dates, and they're like, oh, you got this. That would make you. He's like, yeah, basically make me old. But then they were like, what happens when you run out of blood? He's like, basically, it all turns to darkness. So you know how we were talking about like what happens with the blood? I guess as long as they fill it, because they're the chosen one. Because even earlier they're like, is that Jesus? Jada Pinkett, she was like, was that Jesus's blood? I mean, he's like, yeah, some of it, but he's like, some of it's from the other. Yeah,
like as long as there's like a minuscule amount of residue from
that's what I'm wondering.
Blood.
I don't think it has to necessarily have to be a residue of Christ's blood. I think as long as they're the chosen ones. I guess as long as that's what I'm saying here. I'm thinking as long as it's the chosen one's blood in there from the previous, and if he hands it over, you kind of refill it with yours.
Christ was super popular character in history who just so also happened to be guardian. This guy's looking at Christ because he says he was just, God chose this carpenter. He didn't say, oh, the son of God. He just said God chose this carpenter. Like he was some random guy.
Yeah.
And then he became guardian, and then so on and so forth. So that would make the validity of what you're saying.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. My words aren't always as perfect sometimes, but that's what I was trying to get at. As long as you're that guardian, you're the person, you can fill, because he filled, because eventually she sort of drains it all. I'm not going to go into that, but you know what I mean? Like it's empty, and then it gets refilled by his blood again, even though she sort of took over. Well, I guess she takes over officially after, whatever. But but it's, it seems like as long as you fill it, with the blood,
with a guardian's blood.
So I wonder if you could fill it with your own, technically, as long as you don't kill yourself. Because we've only seen them on their we've only seen them on their death scene, filling it and then handing it off to the next person. Can you actually fill it with your own blood? Is my question. I'm getting too much into this. But
how many interactions has he had with demons over the last
Yeah.
70 years? He's had to have used that blood plenty of times that he's had to fill
I
it.
feel like he's been on the run and they haven't found him though. But they were worried that they were busy getting the other 6 keys, and they don't make it seem like there was much
They
interaction
were going
beforehand.
after the keys. They were going after this key in World War One. They were going after it in the biblical times.
But he could have been good at
this one.
he could have been good at hiding though. We don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no.
You know what he needs to do?
know.
He
If he
needs to find John Connor and link up with him and get himself a Terminator. You have like a squad of Terminators sent back through time and help him guard the key, and they can roam the world in a Dead Reckoning van or a Dead Reckoning semi.
Would definitely be a different movie.
Hey,
I just wish he'd say.
yeah.
Just wish he would say one thing throughout this entire monologue, which was, "I've been running from demons for over 100 years."
Yeah.
If he would have said that he's actively been running from these demons this whole time, fighting, we would at least know.
But you know what? It wouldn't lead us to me making jokes and trying to add in a bunch of movies that I physically can. That make like one kind of fucked up Demonite movie. You know, they got Terminators, Dead Reckoning truck from Land of the Dead. You want to just like say the world gone to shit and they're in the Walking Dead world on top of it. There's zombies everywhere. No, I'm just joking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's now post-apocalyptic times, or is the world like Mad Max? Did it take a twist?
Deadites have been ideal demons for this movie.
Yeah, I guess that would be a fun comic book. Ash versus the Demon Knights of Darkness.
Bruce Campbell as Ash versus Billy Zane as the Collector. What?
I mean, Jada Pinkett could make a return. She still looks young enough-ish.
Let's leave her out of this.
No, but I'm just saying, for continuity, we can kill her off in the beginning. We don't need to keep her.
We got a Jamie Lloyd her ass just immediately Halloween 5, just fucking boom, done out.
I say you murder her and bring her back as a deadite so you can kill her a second time. You go Dracula 2000. Omar Epps. I mean, he dies twice. It's very satisfying. It's very satisfying. I know I talk about that a lot.
Danny Masterson. I bet a lot of people want to see him dead a few times right now.
I want to see.
That
yeah. Chris Delilah. Delilah. Did you hear about that one?
Oh.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. Let's wrap this up, and then.
that's another one right now. It's got some questions. I'm at 5803. So.
And. Yeah, the movie comes in at an hour and 32, so 92 minutes, and obviously you have credits. So really, the movie's only like 87 minutes long. Not a long movie, which isn't bad. You know, a lot of the movies we've watched recently.
Well, I mean, it's not 92 minutes. I figure the average horror movie is between 83 and 92 minutes. We see a lot of 88-minute movies, and then you're gonna have like 5 or 6 minutes of credits. 88's a big one, yeah. That's like your average horror movie.
I feel like 88-minute movies are meant for, hey, we know these are going to be on TV at some point and we need commercials. It's like a perfect 2-hour slot with, you know what I mean?
So now you have him talking to Roach, and Roach is like, I really admire you, yada, yada, yada. Not in those exact words. And then he pickpockets him and takes the key. So now they're looking for Danny. Danny's missing.
I don't know how they lost them. They were all in the same fucking area just a minute ago. Big.
Yeah, it's more shit with this movie. So now we have Jada's character being tempted. This is the Gravedigger song, the 1-800-Suicide.
Okay.
This song that's playing in the background. It's got a good beat though. I got it's.
Fits.
I'm not a huge rap fan. I do like some 80s and 90s kind of rap and hip hop here and there, but
Yeah, I cut off around 03.
Yeah. Not yeah, there's some stuff that I don't mind a little bit further up, but I got introduced to that through other people that I played hockey with and stuff
My
like that.
friends
But
listen.
yeah.
Now,
But anyway.
is in this room. You have the wispy, waving white sheets over the windows and stuff, and there's pictures of her like superimposed over like famous landmarks around the world. Like, oh, I'll give you everything. You can travel around the world. There's this big piece of cloth with like her picture on it. The hands are coming through like very Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. The walls, the like fucking.
Then she touches it, seeing blood seep through, and then it's removed, and it's Breaker.
William Stadler
by the demons. It's just the what's it called?
It's a dream.
Yeah, a dream.
It's a daydream. They're all daydreams. They're all like he gets in their subconscious. Basically, he's almost like Freddy right now. He gets in your dreams, even though it's a daydream. He's like a daydream Freddy Krueger kind of. You know, Freddy, you have to get in your actual sleep. These people, he gets in their daydreams. You know,
it's like he can't break the barrier, but he can tempt all of these
and
people.
He can touch, he can move
mind.
them around, he can do whatever, but he's not doing anything to their physical bodies right now.
Right.
He
spits on him.
Looks like he just got a facial because that's a lot of spit and it's very white. It's not like actually, it's like the way they.
Yeah.
It looked like she
a
just.
lot of foamy spit.
Yeah.
Probably did that take like 10 times, and by the 10th take, she didn't have enough good.
But they cut, so it's not actual spit. What I'm saying is they used something else, but it almost looked more like jizz, like on his face than spit when they did it. It's kind of funny.
White, foamy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, she walks out of the room. She's not saying anything. She's walking very slow. And a few reviewers have said, "See here, you don't know if she's possessed or not." I'm like, we watching the same fucking movie?
I think
she's in walking
shock.
With a blank stare.
She's in shock about what happened. She's not, and I just was looking at Pounder here, Irene, and she looks kind of the same. So I think she was wearing the suit the whole time.
Okay.
To me, it's best that they do that, though. You know what I mean?
It is for continuity.
For continuity.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure later we'll see something that is a fuck up because it's kind of hard to hide an arm, regardless. But for the most part, she seems to be the same.
Master of the Flying Guillotine. It is very hard to hide appendages.
Yeah, because see, she looks pretty much kind of the same here right now. Yeah, I mean,
they make their way to the attic and they find Dick Miller sitting there drinking with the kid. He's like, "Oh, I found the kid."
We have to give a little. Dick, every time you see him, he's always drinking. He's kind of like a wino. He's a drunk. You know what I mean? He's like the town drunk. He's always drinking. It's an issue. It just comes into play later. You know what I mean? How we're just trying to play it up.
Really should sit Dick Miller down and talk to him about this. So Roach leans over the fucking railing and he spits on the demons.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over to Breaker and Breaker's like, "They don't like that."
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? They don't like being spit on? They're not fucking. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Miller opens the door and he's got the kid Danny behind him. He's like, "Oh my god, and
Uncle Willie!" Yeah.
A good amount of like 3 to 4 minutes of just nice tits. Again, like you said, Chasey Lane is somewhere in the shot. I'm
just laughing because it's like, I know you could lose a long, hard one, Willie. I know I could. That's what the one girl says to him.
And they actually cut back the room, and Danny's looking at it like, "Willie, are you
fuck?
okay?" And Willie's like, "Yes." Ow. They pull up to Billy Zane doing his best Hunter S. Thompson impression. We can't drink here. There's backcountry. Like, doesn't he look like Hunter S. Thompson?
He's like, suck this one down, Willie. Long, hard one. Nothing gets you fucked up faster.
Yeah. They picked the name Willie for a reason.
Yeah. Dude, this has to be like one of the highlights of his career. All these naked women like on top of him. It's kind of hilarious.
Hold on.
Pausing.
Go to 104.19 and hit pause.
104.19.
104.19.
I'm gonna play it slightly beforehand and then pause it.
Then pause it
Okay.
there.
Yep.
Oh, Dick Miller said in the behind the scenes documentary I saw today, he's like, yeah, I remember that scene. He's like, we had to do it like 17 times. It took like all day.
It's amazing. I know you're making jokes right now that didn't happen, but
yeah, all these girls are looking at Dick, or they're, looking at Willie, or they're looking at the drink, except this
one girl.
black girl on the left who's deadpan looking at the camera.
Or either that or she's either looking at the camera or Billy Zane's back there and she's eye fucking the shit out of Billy Zane.
But then look at the girl all the way on the right. She's looking off the other way.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. I was sorry. Things were reversed.
Oh, the other one.
I'm talking about the other girl. She's eye fucking someone else somewhere. The black girl is looking right through the camera. Yeah.
Pan right in the camera. It's like, all right, guys, just don't look at the camera anywhere but the camera. And she's like, okay.
Actually, there is another girl in the back. It looks like another black girl in the back right behind Willie. She's looking right at the camera too. Now we start looking at it.
Fuck.
They just don't want to be like. It's like you're supposed to be looking at the drink or be on Willie, but these other girls are just like looking everywhere else.
The camera pans in because the collector's hand is in the shot, so the camera pans in. So the camera is getting closer to them, and they like just can't help but pay attention to it.
Whether it's Billy Zane or not handing him the drink, it's someone has a camera right over that person's shoulder that's handing the drink. It's how they did this scene, because it's like here's the hand, the camera's like right over, camera can't, whatever. But yeah. And then there's like one girl, like I said, she's looking elsewhere, eye fucking someone in the back. And those other two girls are looking right in the camera like, look at me. Even though they're supposed to be paying attention. Yeah, it's bad. And the other one's like, it looks like she's supposed to be looking elsewhere, but then her eyes are looking to the side, like right into the camera, the one behind Dick Miller. That one's even worse. Like the girl,
her head's facing a certain way, but her eyes are there.
Yeah. So at least the other girl's forgivable because she's like right in the center. I mean, she could theoretically be looking at the person because she's right in the middle, the girl on the left-hand side. Even though she's supposed to be paying attention to the drink or whatever. But the other girl, you can obviously tell she's staring at the camera. Like, because she's...
I think enough people would be just paying attention to the tits that they're not worried about the eyes. I just noticed it.
Well, I only noticed the one, and then I didn't notice the other two, so we paused it and started picking apart the scene. I only noticed the girl on the right because she's so looking directly at someone else, and she had, like I said, she's eye fucking someone. It's not like she's just looking at the camera. She's staring at some dude back there or some girl, and like me and you later on
past the fourth wall.
Yeah, it's like me and you later on we're getting it on. Like that's what she's looking at right now.
She don't look happy.
No, she looks happy.
I'm ready.
She looks very happy. She looks like she's gonna go tear someone's clothes off and get down. So
that could almost be the face. It's like how long do I kind of keep my shirt off? Look, this is only take 6. We only have 15 to go.
It's all in the eyes, man. It's all in the eyes. She's happy and she's staring at some dick right now.
That grin. I'm not talking about the eyes. I'm talking about the grin.
Well, it's like she's trying to fake smile for the camera and she's doing a bad job. She's a bad actress. But it's the eyes. It's the eyes are telling the story to something else. It's like she's doing two things here. All right,
hit play. And
you know what's funny?
Pushes Dick's hand
all the other girls, including the girl that's staring off, all looked in when we hit play. The girl on the left-hand side was still staring at the camera. The whole time the camera panned in, she still stayed staring at the camera. The girl on the left-hand side. The girl on the right-hand side looked in at Willie. The girl in the back leaned in and looked in at Willie. Like, except for the one girl. It's so funny.
Must have been fucking a producer or something, That scene's over. Yeah, but you know what? It was worth it.
It's funny. So now they're going through
the scene.
Sorry, go ahead.
Where Irene and the cop actually go through the mailman stuff and they see the like the fucking 10s and Uzi, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's an Uzi. He's planning to take out
a mini
post
Uzi.
Office. Yeah,
like
just
Invasion
a regular
USA.
Uzi. Yeah, regular Uzi, full size Uzi.
He said there's no ammo, so they're just a bunch of guns and fucking clips.
Magazines. Come on, magazines. Sorry. You know better.
I know.
You know better.
Force of habit.
I know.
Then they find a vest with grenades. So obviously there was something in that
worth the use. Yes. There's possessed Willie now, trying to take out Breaker.
So they break into the door. Jada and Breaker see the kid in the corner, and as soon as they get in there, oh my god!
So she's still fighting him off, basically. Like she's still kind of all fucked up.
I'm sorry, my thing heard me say something. What minute are you at?
Your thing heard you say something. I'm at 106:15.
106:15.
Yeah. So it's at the part where they're fighting Willie, and they cut up, and now you see Jada was just seeing a flash of where they were eating Breaker, because she's seeing him fighting the demon now, and then getting the stuff ripped out. So she's still fighting the Collector's influence off.
Right.
So she's all messed up, and now Billy Zane pops up through the door hatch in Irene's dream, and he has her arm on a platter. Like he's like, I'm serving you up a new arm, and that's where I'm at. So 106:15. Ready and play. She see the little nub.
Like, is that a yes? She's like, no, that's me giving you the finger, asshole. Oh.
Yeah, she had a pretty quick. She had a pretty quick denial there. It's pretty easy. Which, like I said, we're going back to the theory earlier.
I believe.
Yeah.
Just Bob, I have an issue. I don't know if
Bob never got tempted, though. I don't think. Well, we'll see. But he just gets blown up in general. So we don't know. If, they said if he turned it down and was still alive, and he wasn't possessed, so therefore, if he would have been possessed, he would have gone with it. But since he wasn't, they assume he turned it down in the theory of it.
Right.
So that was the whole thing. So now during all this, Roach has got our key, and he's just trying to cut a deal like a slimy fucking Roach that he is, son of a bitch.
Now, keep cutting back from the Roach scene and the fight scene with Dick Miller and Breaker and Jada.
Real quick before I'm sorry, I want to cut you. You know how we always talk about we don't like how things cut back and forth? This, I think, isn't that bad cutting right now, because we complained about it in the last movie, but here they're cutting back for a reason, where it's not just cutting in for filler. You know what I mean? It's coherent. It's building tension in two separate scenes as they're playing off at the same time, because all this is supposed to be happening at the same time right now.
We said it could be done well.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about right now. I think this is done well. It was getting in there.
Oftentimes it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the scene of them fighting. Dick Miller said this was the only time he'd ever worn makeup and prosthetics, and he said he fucking hated it, which I could understand. But Danny,
well, it cut his head off.
Cuts the head off. Baker cuts the head off of Dick Miller. The body starts attacking him because the head's still alive. So Danny has to go pick up the severed head, go over to a deer with
deer antlers.
The antlers, poke the fucking eyes right on the antlers.
It's pretty cool the way they did that. It's like using your environment. Pretty smart. They are in a backwoods redneck town.
Now, scene that right there. Billy Zane tells Roach, "Look, we'll do the deal. I'll let you go, but you got to clean this blood up, on the stairway." And he looks to clean it up, and Billy opens his mouth, and a sponge pops.
I wonder
out.
how many times I had to do that for it to pop out just perfectly like that.
Once.
Really? Oh, it was in the thing.
Billy Zane was having so much fun trying to think of things that he can do. And this, when they were talking about this scene, he went to the prop department. He's like, "Guys, do you guys have a sponge?" And they give him a sponge. He's like, "A clean sponge." And they're like, "Yeah." They actually gave him like a makeup sponge. Yeah. So they give him the clean one.
First off, this is like you were talking about a makeup sponge or whatever. They gave him like an actual disc sponge.
Yes.
I just wanted to specify. Yeah, it was a disc sponge.
like a green little rectangle dish
Yeah.
sponge. He said he folded it up in half and he put the end part in his teeth. So when he would open it, he said he practiced in the bathroom. When he'd open it,
Oh, well, he
top part
practiced
would
in the
flip out
bathroom.
and
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
He didn't tell anybody he was going to
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, so that
Literally,
was like
when
an
they shot
ad lib
this
thing.
scene-
Yeah, like a little thing he did. That's pretty
He
cool.
shot this scene. The first time it just popped right out, and they actually kept that first take. That was cool as shit, man. Billy Zane, I got a whole new respect for him, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Throwing his little ad lib stuff in there.
Yeah.
So then, of course, they
Kill Roach.
yeah,
Billy
of course,
Zane's
of course,
"Hey,
he's like
I
allied.
lied."
Yeah, and they maul him on the stairs.
He's Billy Zane. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course
they're
not
allied. They're demons. They're not going to hold their fucking word. So Billy Zane does get one of his eyes destroyed though, because Breaker shoots an arrow through it and he falls off back down to the first floor. So that's one eye down. Just for people at home to keep count. That's one eye. So now we see Irene putting on the vest upstairs while they're trying to hold off Bob's
Demons.
pulling. Well, I would say like Bob's pulling off hero duty now, like holding off the demons. But yeah, no, Irene's doing
This
the
would be
same
a pretty
thing.
good shot. I mean, you know, he shot a couple demons in the eyes and stuff.
I kind of
Runs out
question it.
ammo.
Now, earlier he said they only had 4 bullets, but he shoots 6. That's a continuity issue in the goofs when they were talking, and
That's
yeah.
it's the whole shifting in Fast and the Furious. You know, 27 years.
Well, he only had 4 left because he shot earlier.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like 6 or 8 of those grenades would have done a larger explosion than that, but but for movie wise, it's a pretty cool scene. Sup a time, motherfuckers. Well, she didn't say motherfucker, but she just pulls it off.
Yeah.
So Danny starts seeing eyes in our comic book that we were talking about. Remember we were talking about is reading a Tales from the Crypt comic, and this is where he gets possessed. They don't actually show a Danny dream sequence because now we're getting towards the end of the movie. They just got to make it short and sweet because there's only about 15 minutes left, roughly, maybe less, left of our movie here. He pours
Something weird just happened.
Yeah. What? I need to pause it.
I was watching it, and it cut back to the original opening sequence of like going into the mansion, like the Cryptkeeper opening sequence. The timeline was still at that. I'm like, what the fuck? Is this like a weird version?
No.
And I just fast forward a little bit and rewound, and the movie's back on. So where are you at, just to make sure?
1:12:19. That's where I'm at.
All right.
Let me know when you're good. I'll hit play here.
Oh,
What?
at 1:12, I'm at the scene where Billy gets his eye shot.
1 hour, 12 minutes,
9
and 19 seconds.
Hour, 20 minutes.
12.
At 12, that's what I'm saying. I
Oh,
was
at least
just
it's 20
there.
minutes.
And in this version of it, it's literally Billy Zane getting his eye shot out.
You sure you're not doing something wrong?
Oh, dude, 1:12. Let me fucking. I'm actually gonna close out the app and reopen it because that's so weird. But I told you it started playing the intro of the Tales from the Crypt thing out of nowhere. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm at the scene where Danny hasn't turned yet, but he's reading the comic book, and he talks about you got enough blood for one more seal, and he puts it on her hand. He's like, "Why'd you do that?"
So-
She wipes most of it off and puts it in the window.
yeah, all right. So wait, I'm at 1:12:22,
I'm at
and it's actually up. It's lined up perfectly now.
Yeah, because we had it's something was up your app. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at 1:12:20. So I'm gonna when I get to 22, I'll tell you to hit play. And hit play.
It was so weird. It didn't even play the Universal logo, nothing. It
Yeah,
literally
that's
just
weird.
cut to the mansion. That's why I'm like, I remember this
Yeah.
being in the movie.
Yeah, so now he's saying out of the 7 left, you're out of the 7, you're the only one left. So he tries to give her the key, and then Danny comes over all possessed, and it's cool because they show the battle that's going to happen in the pages of the book real quick because the wind flips the pages, even though they don't go
keep
full.
cutting back to the
Yeah,
comic,
they don't show
every
full
page
detail.
It turns,
yeah.
it shows what's about to happen. Annie's makeup is the best in this entire movie.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think Cordelia's was the best, but Danny's is pretty close. Pretty close on it.
I think
because it's a little
like
more.
It has the most Evil Dead feel.
Yeah, it's a little more involved in this one because Danny's up moving around, but they literally just threw a doll through the window and blew it up for the scene, but it's supposed to be Danny going through the window that they marked with the blood already. So, demons that go through the seal explode, but they literally looked like they threw a doll through a window and it had a fucking bomb in it and it just exploded. It's just, yeah. It's so funny.
Can you imagine trying to count down the fuse on that thing? Be like 4.
Well, I'm just assuming there was wires attached, and it was more of they couldn't just put a fuse on something like that.
It's pretty clear that Breaker is not going to survive.
No, because Danny basically ripped his chest open and is bleeding to death, and I think you can see his heart at one point in time.
Yeah, he's pretty much fucked up. He asks for Jada's hand, and he puts the key in her hand. This is when you start getting the memory flashback transfer data.
He actually transfers first. I forgot. Well, I thought he transferred it later, after she kills him, but apparently not.
Yeah.
So now she gets all his memories, all the memories before that, because they didn't show the World War II scenes when he got it, or World War I, I mean.
No, that was just a flashback.
Yeah, for him.
As an audience.
No. I'm talking when he got the key. They showed everything up until them, and now they showed everything up until her for him. They actually added on to
when you pass it off. Now you get his flashback as well as what he got transferred to him.
No, it was just cool how they kept it in continuity. They actually showed his flashbacks for her, like you can see it. They lined it up so when she,
as they should have.
Yeah, when she goes to transfer it off,
have her memories of this moment plus his plus before.
For the next person, whatever. But so it's interesting how so he's dead, the key's passed off to her, but yet she's still able to use his blood. I wonder if it's because he's still a holy figure, I guess, in the minds of the guard, like he's still a guardian, so his blood's still usable. Well, hold on.
He was already crucified on the cross when they collected his blood, so...
Yeah. So now all his seals go bad because he's not the... Yeah, but see... All right, hold on. Pause. So all his seals disappear because he's now not the guardian anymore, right? But yet she can still use his blood, for her, and she refills it later.
She have to go reapply...
She would,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, that bothers me with continuity because all his seals now disappeared because he's dead. But yet she is going to coat herself in his blood.
She can use his blood.
Yeah. So why would his seals? It's just I get it. But words, fucking words.
Maybe the blood in the bottle. Maybe the blood in the bottle was from the Guardian before.
No,
him.
she just filled it up right now. In his chest.
She just filled it up, but I'm saying when they were closing the seals throughout the movie, maybe that blood was from the Guardian before him. He was using that blood. Maybe the Guardian can't use their own blood. Maybe they have to use the Guardian before them.
That's what I don't know. It just bothered. That's what I was talking about before. Maybe you can't use your own blood, but it just regardless, there's still Guardians and the blood's still in the thing. It should be able to be used no matter what. It's shitty how they erased all those seals, but then she's going to use his blood to coat herself in the kind of...
Other people used the key to make the barriers. Other people who were not guardians used the key to make barriers. So technically, anybody can use the blood in there. So why would they disappear?
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, because now she's going to coat herself in his blood to protect her, and then Billy Zane drags her into the shower, and we're going to see this, and rinses her off. Yeah. And then she's going to go back and refill the key again after she kills Billy Zane with his dead body. Like, you'll see like her refill the thing that like fully, because she drinks it. Well, you know, we're going to get into it, but the problem, I don't know, it's a major continuity problem with it. And
we might have to look into a little bit of fan fiction on this one, just to see what other people have come up with.
It just pisses me off. All right, so I'm at 116.01.
Okay, I'm at 2.
All right, and play. So Billy Zane rises up. Obviously, they have a lift under him for this, and it's really cool to get the green lighting underneath it. He rises up like the demon.
They had a little bit of the fog, so the green light actually shows well. And
he rises up like the demon Jesus he is. I mean, look at the light. Look at the green light behind me.
Fucking Pearson, man. Fucking director, man.
I'm rising up.
Well, you're a light.
That's what I said. Look at the light behind me. I'm rising up, the demon Jesus that I am.
You need more smoke.
Yes, I need more smoke. Come on, demons. No.
Give me some of mine.
Give me some smoke.
Just like, what?
Fog machine. Dry ice. Let's go.
Next episode, your room's gonna be so cloudy. Like, hey guys, look what I did.
Can't even see me anymore. Where'd Wolfman go?
You have to get like this close to the camera.
Hi guys. No.
As day 3, I actually lost the fog machine because I cannot find it in the fog, and it will not stop working.
I'm gonna have a fog machine, some dry ice. I'm gonna have a goblet of nothing but green M&Ms on my table. No, nothing but green M&Ms. I'm gonna become a diva demon god here. Nothing but green M&Ms.
M&M wench, my cup is nearly empty.
Nothing but green M&Ms. And if you don't get me nothing but green M&Ms, I'm gonna beat you with your own shoes.
That's your rider. You need green M&Ms.
So
she comes out looking like she just left the movie The Descent.
Or she was Carrie and she had the pig's blood dropped on her. Yes.
Yeah. Takes Billy's hand. Billy actually gets burnt. He pulls his hands like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, it's
this
not my blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he jumps through the hatch like he's like a fucking, like a high diver.
Character.
Yeah, like a high diver too. As they're going through, he's gonna do a triple Lundy gainer.
He puts his hands like this. He goes,
triple gainer with a Lundy flip.
You can see why he said this was the most fun he's ever had in a movie, though, because they let him do whatever the fuck he wanted, and it paid off.
It's awesome.
Basically, we know the collector's in the house, and Jada's kind of looking around. She's going through the hallways, but there's no other demons right now. It's collector. It's her.
Yeah.
She goes in the bathroom. She sees the first dead cop with the hole in his face and his body. And Billy jumps out, has the shower curtain on her, wraps her
because
up.
he can't touch her. This is what I was saying. He bathes her off. Now, you can see that there's so much blood on her. She has like white underwear on and white bra, like sports bra or whatever. And it's soaked like almost to the point where it's like purpley black color, if it would be like with all that blood on it. When she comes out of the shower, she's going to be completely dry and all her underwear is going to be like semi-normal color.
She had the key in her hand. Billy actually grabbed her hand and made her pour the blood.
Part of it.
On the drain.
Yeah.
She grabs it, the key, stabs him in the eye, and while he's like trying to hold his eye, she drinks some of the blood.
Yep. She drank the rest of the blood and put it in her mouth, and she's holding there. And he's like, "Oh, that doesn't work."
But that's it. She filled up her mouth with it.
Yeah. She did drink it, but in order to fill up her mouth, it's not like she drank it and swallowed it. There's a difference. She drank it and filled up her mouth. But he's like, "Oh, that shit only works on low-level demons." He's like, "I'm a higher level." He's like, "I don't make the rules. Don't look at me." And it's kind of funny. It's like a little ad lib. Yeah. So he just kind of goes to this.
Even Billy knew that there was some fucking plot holes in here.
Now he does have this little. See, she's completely dry. Everything's like pristine white colored. Like, I get it, low budget, whatever. But you could have did a little bit of a job to make her like wet in there. Maybe have like some sort of stained underwear.
Her body's wet. Her clothes.
Yeah.
Her
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I guess she's just wearing her tank top still, like her wife beater. It's not a. Not a sports
And now
bra,
there's just
but-
a main monologue scene
Yeah.
with Billy dancing with her with a spotlight on him, and he's just talking to her about certain things. And while this is happening, I want to ask you:
It's
do
Billy
you
trying to be
see-
funny. It's him
He is,
monologuing.
he's
trying
very
to,
funny.
No, I'm saying he's trying to be funny. He's funny, but a lot of people complained that this movie wasn't funny enough and it wasn't scary enough. It was too much down the middle. That's why they hated it. But I find this hilarious, though. I think this is great.
especially in the context of the movie.
Yeah.
You guys are about to find out Billy Zane, the collector, actually confesses his love for Jada Pinkett Smith.
No,
Before that,
his little fire demon penis here. He like opens the zipper and as it comes out, and it's like dumb boy.
his zipper shoots open. Yeah, it just flames engulf. He's standing there. It's not like it just happens. He's actually going
Yeah, he's gyrating.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So what were we gonna say? Yeah.
Did you get any hint throughout this movie at all? The collector was in love with Jada Pinkett Smith's character.
No.
Where did this fucking come from?
I
Billy even says,
mean,
like,
maybe demons can have these feelings, and he thinks she's special because she sort of resisted her, and now it kind of turns him on. Maybe I don't know.
Not doubting that the demons can have these feelings. I'm not doubting.
No,
that.
but I'm saying the fact that she resisted
entire
him and she's such a strong character that he's starting to like her, maybe. But he just
I just didn't get any hints in the movie that Billy was like,
no, there's no
in
hints.
love with
No, but I'm just saying I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Maybe that's what he says. But he's like, if you say no, I'm going to cut out your heart, basically, right now. So I guess it all kind of plays into it, and it makes her. He pulls her. It gives a reason for him to pull her close, for her to spit the now blood on his forehead, and he melts in this awesome scene and lights on fire. And it could have just been a use to get them close together. They just kind of wrote it in like that. I mean, it could be, plausibility.
Just saying, I didn't see it in the movie. But one thing that's really cool is in the middle of him melting, he actually catches fire. And he turns into an actual
winged demon. Yeah.
Big fucking wings, the horn. Oh my god, dude, it was so good. And he explodes.
Yeah, because everything's got to explode. Big
Fuck,
fireballs go out the
Why
windows.
couldn't we see?
But yet she's normal. Fireballs go out the window. All that shit happens, but nothing happens to her. But yet the fireballs dried her off, though.
Why couldn't we get that final form, Billy Zane, for like 1 minute of the movie?
Like a fight. Yeah. Yeah. See, now she refills it up with his blood. But yet all the seals went away. But yet she can go back and use his blood. Can use it on her. Like, it just drives me crazy. Pisses me off.
It's something we're gonna have to look into a little bit, just because I do want to know what other people have said. Maybe even contact the writers and see what they were thinking.
Yeah. So now, I'm just curious, because technically we're watching this. Yeah, I'm watching this on YouTube, bought and paid for. So now it's in 720p. See, my DVD is not 720. It's just a regular DVD. It's not high def. It's 480. At most, some DVDs are 360, like resolution wise.
Right.
VHSs are anywhere from 240, 180 to maybe, if you're lucky, you'll get a 360 VHS. Most VHSs are 240. You get like a higher end VHS that's short. Anyway, but I'm able to see more things because it's clearer. Plus, I'm like on top of my TV here.
Right.
This has got to be the high definition version without the ending scene, I'm assuming. With that whole little Cryptkeeper thing. I mean, I'm sure I've seen the scene on YouTube, but I don't think. I don't think.
Real quick.
Oh, I'll pause it.
As the morning comes, Pinkett Smith, she collects the blood and she actually hops on a bus and she starts traveling.
Yeah.
But before the bus takes off, she sprinkles some of the blood on the doorway of the bus. And a few miles down the road, the bus stops again for one guy dressed in all black. And as the door opens, he goes, "Nah, I'll catch the next one."
Yeah.
So they're already setting up.
They're already sending a new.
They're already for her, which makes me believe that the Guardian before her spent his life running from these demons. That, you know.
No, I agree with you. It just makes you wonder how far they were able to run and do their thing, you know. And then he starts whistling. So here's going to be the Hoffa thing. Right there, it passed real quick. The keys up on the left. You would never, unless you pause it, you would never know what it said.
Yeah. Oh, the movie is technically over, but of course, Cryptkeeper always started out and ended his episodes.
But also, the guy was whistling the theme song when the bus was pulling away too.
I noticed that as well. Yep. So the Cryptkeeper, he puts on his tuxedo. He's like, "We got the big Hollywood premiere."
Mm-hmm.
So then you cut to the Hollywood premiere. The limousine door opens, and this redhead hops out.
She's pretty hot.
See the Cryptkeeper get out. She's very hot.
It's very,
And all the paparazzi's taking pictures, and Cryptkeeper, he's all hamming it up. Hey, what's up, everybody? You guys love me.
Hello.
And then as he gets through the people, sees this fucking giant guillotine and producers of the movie. These are the real life producers of the movie.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they put him in the guillotine. He's like, I guess the final cut, was whatever. And they drop the guillotine. His head cuts off, lands in the basket, and he says, I guess that's entertainment. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And
I don't think he goes, blah, 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 but yeah.
You know what he. I'm not John Kassir, goddammit.
I know.
And, then we get the credits as the scene, the opening plays again. And I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit. I want to see. Play a lot of good music in the end credits.
There is something at the end here.
There's something.
It is here. Oh, hi. Oh. Yep. This is not on the Blu-ray versions. I wonder if this is... It says 720p then, and it's not actually in 720p. Kind of like certain things that are filmed. But yeah, that's only on the VHS versions and the DVDs. It's not on the Blu-ray versions.
It takes some balls for them at the end of this movie to say, be on the lookout for our next movie, Dead Easy. It's like, hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, guys, okay? Of course, we know Dead Easy wouldn't be the next.
Nope.
It would be Bordello of Blood, but get there. Jax always knows when we finish the movies.
He always jumps up towards the end. It's this time. It's almost 3 a.m. now.
That's what I'm saying.
It's almost 3 a.m. I usually
always knows.
If I'm awake, we'll go for a walk around this. So anytime between midnight and 4 a.m., if I'm awake and I don't pass out at like 9 p.m., because if I don't pass out at 9 p.m., because I'm up all night, I'll take them for a late night walk, and we'll go walk anywhere from about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile around the blocks.
Wear out a little bit.
It's just a nice walk. I get up, especially if it's nice out. We went for a short one last night, like 3 a.m. But it was raining earlier, so.
That was midnight.
This is Handsome Jack. Handsome Jackson.
I would like to. Obviously, one day we're gonna talk about Bordello of Blood, but I would like to do some sort of special featurette. Maybe you know what we haven't done, man, and maybe we should.
Oh, come on, not in the mouth.
We shouldn't.
Not in the mouth. Come on.
We should make a top 10 list, 5 of our favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, but that's hard though because there's so many episodes and I haven't seen stuff in forever. Maybe in the future, maybe I get a hold of that box set.
Yeah. I'm not saying anytime soon. Obviously, we're probably not going to cover Bordello of Blood for like another year or so because we have so much going on. Maybe in the future, we'll do a nice little featurette on the actual series, Tales from the Crypt. And maybe, the internet loves lists. So we'll do our top 5 each. So get you a nice little top 10 list of our favorite episodes. Be cool.
That would be cool.
So obviously, we're both fans of this movie. But like you said, we're actually breaking down movies way more than we used to as just fans who watched movies.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to
What
break
i-
down movies when you're a fan of movies, but not like this to a certain extent. Like, I'm really
we're
looking.
analyzing them now.
Yeah, put more thought into it, not just laying down on the couch, just hanging out, you know?
What does this movie do wrong? We know everything it does right. I mean,
Well, I mean, we went over a lot of the wrong. It's just a few continuity errors here and there. It has great effects. I
Typical
feel
effects.
like, I mean, I feel like this movie towards the end was rushed a little bit. You know, because like the temp, like 3/4 of that movie, the tempo is kind of slow, and the last quarter of it, they just kind of like super speed it up, and then end it. Almost, you know what I mean? Like I almost wish the movie was a little bit longer. I know they have strict time budgets, but if this would have been more like
third act should have been at least 15 minutes of more footage.
yeah, if there was another 15 20 minutes to this movie and just made it spread it out, have a better, I mean, I don't mind the way they killed them, but like you said, maybe if there was I don't know, it's hard to say. I guess you can say you hope there was more to it. I don't know. I don't think the movie does too much wrong, but I guess you could have had her fight the final form of that.
I would have loved to see more of the backstory of how the collector became the collector. Obviously, at the end of the movie, we see that the black guy at the bus station,
yeah.
he is a collector as well. But specifically, Billy Zane and how he became.
I don't care. Oh, sorry, I'm not cutting you in. Sorry. I don't want to see that in this. I'm happy with them doing that. I don't want to see anything about Billy Zane becoming the collector. Now, I feel like you can do like a spin-off movie about that maybe, or like a 30-minute maybe, or like a 30-minute like DVD thing, like add it to the DVD or Blu-ray, have its own little like how it became, but I'm happy with that not being in there, like have it as an extra.
I'm not saying a 20-minute scene. I'm saying a minute. Like, say in the middle of him tying up Jada or whatever, he's like, before this, I used to wash dishes at minimum wage, and I had an opportunity to do that. Just something to, get the lore of where this guy came from. Because literally, we don't know.
No, I know, I know what you want, but that doesn't interest me. It
doesn't affect the movie for me. I'm just saying what I would almost expect.
I know.
If we're trying to stretch this movie another 15 minutes, things that we can add besides, like I said, like the final boss battle, obviously.
I would like them to extend, maybe have Danny have a little daydream scene, maybe him being back with his family or something. Maybe have him go through the comic book a little more, like actually show it, because they rushed it. They rushed it with Irene.
Was rushed,
they rushed it with Irene. It's like they showed him the arm, she spit on him, gave him the finger or whatever, didn't spit on him, and then he went away. Like that was rushed. You know what I mean? Like just have, and then all the demons are gone after. Like it's almost like he shooed them away. Maybe she can fight a demon or two. That kind of build up suspense and whatnot.
That's what I like after she blew herself up with the grenade vest. You don't see any more demons in that movie.
And specifically you have to kill their eyes. I don't see how that grenade would kill all of them. Yes, it would kill a couple of them. Maybe the ones like immediately in front of them, but I don't think it would kill the rest of them. Yeah. Also, when they shot the one demon in the room with the shotgun, his head exploded, but his eyes survived. So they had to go stomp on his eyes to kill the demon fully. So therefore, that would make me believe, like I said, the grenade wouldn't kill all the demons. The grenades shoot out shrapnel. It's a little more complicated than most movies make grenades, but
they almost write grenades like dynamite, just like a big boom.
A big boom. Yeah, those type of grenades are built. All those little notches end up being shrapnel. That's why they're built like that. They're built to break apart.
The pineapple.
Yeah,
like
the pineapple
little
shape.
bumps
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah, they're built like that to break into pieces and send them flying. And so, yeah, not much. I mean, I would like a little bit longer, extend some of the dream sequences, and a couple more fights at the end.
I would like to know a little bit more about the Collector. I'm a huge fan. I think every scene that he is in, he steals the scene, regardless of who he's sharing the screen with. Particular his very small scene with Dick Miller and himself. You know, not just all the naked girls in there, but like that scene was just a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see the final form of what he turned into, and it's not just like 5 seconds and he blows up. I want to see him in the fight battle.
Well, here's also the thing too. Like,
hold on. I just want to say the things that like would have done make it. You know, I'm not ragging on the movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie because it doesn't have this stuff, but I feel like the movie being 88 minutes, you know, without the credits, just things that probably could have been put in there that would have just made it a little bit more of a together, like a whole pizza instead of like 7 slices, you know.
I don't know. I personally thought it was a whole pizza. I don't need that little bit about the Collector. I'm happy with that. But like I said, I would have liked like a little 20-minute or 30-minute featurette of him, how he became the Collector, if that was a thing. I thought that would be cool.
As a little separate, but that doesn't do anything with the movie.
I know. I'm just saying I don't need it in the movie. I'm saying I would have liked it on its side. I don't need it in the movie. I don't care about it in the movie. But here's the thing. Also, he might not actually be a real person. When he transfers into that form, he might just be a demon that can make himself look like a person. So then there's no.
We didn't know that because we knew nothing about it.
I know, but there might be nothing. There might be nothing to show, as I'm getting, if that's the way they made it, because he transferred into something else.
Even if he said, you know, he's like, you know, you might not be attracted to me because of this or this. You know, if you saw my real form, you would definitely, you know, just even a line referencing what he actually is.
Yeah. I don't know.
I love his character. Yeah. I'm not ragging on the
character.
You're not. I'm just saying, I almost like I wanted more of Billy Zane in this movie, you know?
Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to be the star the way he was, and then he just ended up being the shining bright light of the movie, you know?
Stole the show, yeah. I think it was cast well. Like, I know it's an ensemble cast, but like nobody feels out of place.
No,
sometimes when you have ensemble casts, you can definitely feel like, oh, they just got this guy because he's a name, and they got this woman because she's a name. It fit.
No, I think they did a good job with the cast for the movie. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would change anyone if I remade the movie. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Maybe the little kid. Usually, if I were going to change anyone, it's going to be the kid, honestly.
Yeah.
If I was going to change anyone. And that's not saying much. It's not like it's, you know what I mean? Like, he's not even a huge deal, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, usually we could pick a certain character in a movie and be like, look, this person was a waste, or someone else. You know what I mean? This movie didn't have that. Everybody played the role they were supposed to play, and they played it well.
There was something about casting with this movie. I skipped over it because I think when we were arguing about the
in time. Production,
or
trivia.
In the trivia, where's that fucking trivia line?
One thing I will say while you look for this is I've always wanted to see Cryptkeeper movie. Like, yes, there's Tales from the Crypt movies and there's a TV show, but I've always wanted to see an actual movie on how the Cryptkeeper became the Cryptkeeper, because I'm a huge fan. And I think, yes, what's great about it is part of the mystery is he just shows up. He's the decrepit skeleton, but he's such an awesome character, and I feel like I just can't get enough of him, you know?
Yeah, so the studio originally wanted Cameron Diaz to play Jada Pinkett Smith's role. And then and then director Ernest Dickerson convinced the producers to cast Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, as much as I normally dislike her roles in movies, she was fine in this movie. She did a really good job. You know, I don't necessarily like her roles in other things, but like I said, she plays really good in Gotham, and I wouldn't change her out of this movie. I think she fit just fine. I would never have casted Cameron Diaz. I don't like Cameron Diaz personally. I don't even think she's...
I was actually going to say, I think Cameron Diaz would have been the worst choice for that part.
I don't even find her that attractive, honestly, either. I know a lot of people always have like huge crushes on her. She's not ugly, but she's not as hot as people make her out to seem. That's just my opinion. But
she's definitely not my list.
Yeah. If you were to, since the producers wanted to recast someone else, who would you cast for that role if you could recast it?
Her role?
Yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith's role.
From that time period, or like we're talking present day, or
that time period.
You know what? I'm going off of the first movie role, and I think Jennifer Aniston would have done well. Did well in Leprechaun.
Yeah. That's I don't know if she fits it because she's supposed to be like a tough chick. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't come off as a, they want her to be very masculine and had prison time and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't fit. You know what I mean? I think Jennifer Aniston could have acted fine and pulled the role off, but she doesn't fit the look. I don't know. I
could have said, actually, the first person I was going to say I avoided because I knew you were going to give me shit.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say.
The chick from The Craft.
Yeah, no, fuck that girl. She would have been terrible in this movie.
She would have been all right.
She would have been terrible.
She has the exterior of being a fucking tough bitch, though.
She has the exterior of looking like an ugly bitch.
Ugly's tough. You got to be if you're gonna be ugly, you got to be tough.
No,
That's it.
no, because Jada Pinkett Smith's not. Jada Pinkett Smith's not ugly, and she's tough.
See, it came off to me as like, but see, I always
no, I mean, I'm talking the image in the, but I'm saying in the scheme of the movie, I'm not saying she's like fucking hot, but I'm saying like she's not an ugly woman, and she came off as tough in this.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean? No,
she's not ugly at all.
I don't know who I'd pick. I just brought the question up since the producers tried to recast. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like I would leave her. I thought she did a good job. I don't know who to pick.
Who was the chick from True Lies?
True Lies.
Cat. What was her name?
Cat.
Oh, Arquette. True Lie. Trime? No.
True Lies is the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. That's why you're confusing me.
I know. It's not True Lie. It's
True Romance. Rosanna Arquette. Is it Rosanna Arquette or one of the
Patricia?
Patricia Arquette, the one from Stigmata. She
also probably would have done okay in that role.
Yeah, she might have worked. Yeah, she's a train wreck now.
Actually, I know she is. I know. She probably would have done better than Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I think she fits it a little better in this. I actually really enjoy Stigmata. I thought that was a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of people give it shit. I like it, but a lot of people also give Constantine shit. But I just read a new article that came out last week. Some people are saying Constantine deserves a second look. People are finally coming around.
I don't think they're coming around to it. I think they just like Keanu Reeves more because of John Wick. And they're finding themselves liking John Wick with Keanu Reeves, so they're giving it a second look at Keanu Reeves being kind of like actiony. Because before that, all he did The Matrix and Point Break and stuff, and people were like looking at him as like a certain way. So when he did Constantine, I don't know. I guess people didn't give him the credit he deserved for that movie because of Matrix and Point Break and Bill and Ted and all those like movies. I don't know.
He was shit show in Dracula. He was awful in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I honestly don't remember that movie enough to. I've seen it, but I I don't remember enough. I remember him trying to romance Winona Ryder a little bit. I don't remember enough of the movie to kind of. Did he play Point Break but with a Dracula?
He played Bill and Ted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, but in a Dracula movie, he played that like kind of He did do that a little bit, but sometimes it just worked. But yeah, I can see that being annoying.
I didn't see any of that in Constantine.
No. I'm saying in some of those early movies, he kind of was a little one-dimensional, but it worked a little bit to a certain extent. I don't know.
This movie is fun.
It is.
Like, Invasion USA was fun. It was a hoop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was more fun watching it with you and bullshitting about it than it was watching it on my own.
Yeah, well, that's
just my opinion.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, certain people can have, like, I can watch that by myself, but it's not for everyone. I'll admit that. You know what I mean? Invasion USA. There are going to be other movies we're going to go over that are very similar to Invasion USA, where I think you might be able to watch by yourself and laugh at. You know what I mean? There's going to be a little better put together, But yeah, they're different kinds of fun. But yeah,
I had fun watching this movie even on my own.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
it's because this is actually a good movie. Invasion USA. Invasion USA is a little. It's a little cheesy, a little corny. They cut the shit out of it. They made it like just this fucking cheese fest. But we talked about that.
If you guys want to know more about that, check out our last episode because it's definitely worth it.
It's a long one, but it's worth it. Just like this one.
Oh my God, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
What would you grade this at? Not through your rose-tinted glasses of nostalgia. So watching it tonight.
Here's the problem with this. Yeah, there is a lot of nostalgia, but more goes into grading this movie than normal because the soundtrack, like the actual soundtrack, because they play it in the movie too, along with the composing soundtrack on it is all good, so it adds extra to the movie. Like
visual effects.
Yeah, visual effects, practical stuff. Yeah, I was bothered by certain things, but I give it like a solid 9. I really fully enjoy this movie.
I would put this, and see, here's the thing. Like, when we go and review our Friday the 13th series, maybe one of those movies will actually get a 9. The other ones are probably going to fit between 6 and 8. And everyone's like, well, but you're a huge Friday the 13th fan. Yeah, but as a whole,
the actual movie itself doesn't mean I don't have an 11 for an experience watching it, but as like an actual movie of realistic rating. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about this movie. If you're a fan of horror and you're a fan of comedy and you're a fan of this is a solid 9 when it comes to what it's
so you agree with me then? It's a solid 9. Yeah.
Any other person who's coming into this movie and watching it who is just like your everyday movie watcher probably gonna think it's about a 7.
I think it's shot really well too. I mean, like we talked about, I think, but the cinematography is really, really good in this movie, especially the dream sequences. Like you can tell they're a dream, but yet they're not overdone. There's not too much smoke and bullshit and whatever. Like they're just very well done. They did a lot with a little. You know what I mean?
A plane hangar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about it. There was very little location scouting. They didn't have natural sunlight, literally everything was manufactured in a hangar. They still got incredible shots.
There's a couple CG darkness shots that in there that you can blatantly see it's CG and they're struggling with it a little bit, but that's only when you like stare at it and try to like pick it apart that you notice it. You know what I mean? It's like the establishing shots of the outside of the mission, or the whatever that you want to call it, the old.
They had to put the sky in
the background.
But with the $13 million budget in '95, still got decent effects. Not enough to pull me out of the movie.
They did fucking great. That's what I'm saying. Like, they did so much with such a little budget. They did a phenomenal job.
ladies and gentlemen, we probably won't be as kind to Bordello of Blood, but I'm gonna let you know it's not. It's literally not as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
No,
It's not as good as this one.
no, nowhere's near. Like I said, we'll just Dennis Leary ruins most of that movie. Bordello of Blood suffers from a little bit of a story. You know, like it doesn't have as good a story as this one. Not that this one has like the perfect story, but Bordello of Blood is really about the cheap thrills of naked women in a bordello with a half-assed story, and Dennis Miller ruins the rest of it. You know, there's not much depth to that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, we'll get into that more later when we go into it. But it's not a terrible movie. It's just like it's almost like a poor. It's almost like a poor version of a exploitation film.
Yeah, like a cheap thrill kind of.
Yeah. Like it's like a cheap version of a '90s exploitation film that you couldn't go either. You know what I mean? Because of what it is and how big of like it's supposed to be a mainstream movie. They couldn't go the comedy route because it's supposed to be, even though they tried, but they didn't go the right comedy route because of doing Dennis Miller. But they couldn't go true gore fest and whatnot because that wasn't necessarily a thing yet. And plus, the movies that were like that were super indie movies. They weren't like big production. You know, this was supposed to be like a big movie, even though there wasn't a huge, crazy budget and whatnot. It's still done by a main movie company.
You weren't gonna get Dennis Miller to agree to a gore fest movie. Like,
no, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like a movie like Bordello Blood needs to be more like Dusk Till Dawn, but you can't do that because of.
There would be more enjoyment out of the movie if it was more like Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah, because Dusk Till Dawn is very gory. It's very, very real.
Now, before we go, Demon Knight has a Metascore of 48.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
But the highest score was given by TV Guide magazine. When you go to like the big ones, like New York Times, Stephen Holden gave it a 60. Fucking asshole Jonathan Rosenbaum from the Chicago Reader gave it a 50. Entertainment Weekly gave it a 33. It says to call Demon Knight a popcorn movie to give it too much credit. I doubt it would raise the pulse of Orville Redenbacher.
I don't know, man. I don't know what these people are saying.
What movie did you watch? This is a perfect popcorn movie. God damn it.
I don't know. Like, well, when you look at the IMDb, it got a 6.7, which is kind of high for the most part for IMDb. Like your average movie usually gets like a 4 or 5 on here. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, when you go through,
because they save like the real good movies up. Your
average review when you look at the people, is like a 7. You see a bunch of 9s and 8s, but your average review is a 7, which hence the 6.7. You know what I mean? When you go through, most people
gave it a 38.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
The audience gave it a 64. So again, fans are the ones who are, appreciating this.
Yeah. Even then, I feel like it should be higher. I don't feel the score. But then again, all these are going to average out to a 6.7 anyway. But that's close to a 7, like I said. So, how many reviews?
That's what I said. Like, realistically, with other movie fans, they would probably say 7 to 7.5. But, 9.
Yeah, I give it a 9. I factor, the sound, everything, the editing, the sets, everything was well done. Even though, like I said, it was in a hangar. You didn't have to go too many different sets. There was like 3 main set places to a certain, like, you had the road set for the beginning crash, you had the diner, and then the mission. Yeah, they were in the basement, they were like whatever, they saw the outside, but it's still the mission, even though it's the outside. Like, you just had 3 main areas. Yeah, you had to fabricate different areas of that main area, but there's only 3 areas in the movie.
They had 40 days of shooting. They probably spent...
No, I guess
they probably... Wait, they had 40 days of shooting. They probably spent 4 days off location and 36 on the hangar.
Well, let's say there is a 4th set, the World War I set. That was a little different.
That could have been done on the hangar.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, they only had.
Yeah.
They had like they had 4 different places. You know, like I said, they had the road crash, the diner, the mission, and then the World War One set. Yeah, you had the Jesus thing, whatever, but that didn't look like it. Yeah, but that didn't take much to do. You can tell they did that fairly, and it's very. The World War One scene is a little more in depth, and they have different angles. They like you see more stuff. Yeah, they had to do the outside, the basement, the bus. Oh yeah, well that's road. I guess that's like a fucking.
That's a road. Exactly. No, I'm putting
that's
it
like
the same
a
as the
quarter.
road.
Yeah, it's a quarter day. Yeah, they filmed the bus. Maybe
actually probably shot all that within a matter of a day or two on the same spot.
Yeah, I could see them doing that in half a day. Maybe take a couple like some setup, not much, because it's literally them on the bus, and there's one scene from the outside, but the rest of it revolves around the bus. Yeah,
bus scene was like a couple hours. Crash scene.
Oh no! I'm not talking about that. Yeah, no, that took a day or two probably. I'm talking just the end scene. I can see them doing that end scene with him coming up to the bus and her getting on the bus, and then the bus driving off and him walking. I can picture them taking half a day to film that.
Well, easily.
You know what I mean?
Easily.
Yeah. There's not much.
I would 100% highly recommend this movie to anyone who has not seen it. I mean, Tales from the Crypt. What more do I have to say? See it.
No, that's it. Yeah. Go watch the movie.
Again,
go to our Patreon, support us if you can. That'd be awesome. We'd love you a long time for that. And go check us out on Facebook.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yep. Subscribe on YouTube. Go check out the Facebook. You know, if you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you. We appreciate you also. We don't throw enough love out to our Spotify and Anchor people and all the other places. But, yeah, about covers
Let us know if you're listening on a certain platform so we continue to post there.
Yeah, because we do want to downsize a little bit, like we said earlier. We want to just kind of keep it on a handful of platforms and kind of diversify. Like, we don't want to be too diverse.
Spend more time on the ones that we're focusing on instead of just spreading out thin.
We want to consolidate. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. A big thank you again, John Kassir, the voice of the Cryptkeeper, for helping us out with our intros and being there for Grindhaus. And by the time we get Bordello of Blood going, hopefully we'll get him in the studio for an interview or something. Figure it out.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or maybe it's a hope and a prayer, but if we do like our best of the Tales from the Crypt, like our 5 or 10 best, whatever we decide to do, have him along with that and see if he remembers any of the episodes.
Or even just have him come in and say what his favorite episodes were.
We can do. That'd be a good video. Anyway, we're just spitballing while we're talking.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, Grindhaus out.
I'm Gray.
Yeah, I'm Wolfman.
See you guys next week.
Later.